Is it there? Are we on? Are we good? Are we ready to go? I think we're ready to go. I think Season 9 for Group B is about to start. Welcome everybody to Sector 1 Sim Racing. Of course, that is the glitchiest of glitchy starts. I am your host for this evening, and you can blame me. I am Brent, aka Karen. And we're coming to a track that has been notorious for a lot of panel swapping and some fantastic action as we saw last week from Divisions 1 and 2. It is, of course, the fearsome Trial Mountain Circuit. It is 15 corners. Absolutely pedal to the metal action on the back straight. It's just an absolute beautiful place, nestled in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California, of course. Looking very much forward to seeing how the BMW M3s go here in terms of the power output and especially the tyre temps themselves. We've had a massive update since last week in terms of Gran Turismo, and it's really shaken the system up, so a lot of strategies will be different this time around. And speaking of strategies and this time around, a guy who was racing last week and did an absolutely phenomenal job. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Black Friday to the comms box. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I'm looking very much forward to this one, and of course, first time around for these guys this season, so it is an open slather. Any surprises that you've seen so far through the practice sessions, and have you got any picks? Have you been eyeing anyone up?
I don't have any kind of picks for the win. It's going to be there's a lot of names up there. Big J's definitely fast. Madrick's there too. Popeye, Jim Bob. Womble could be up there. But yeah, no favourites for tonight. But it's going to be close, and it's going to be interesting with that new tyre physics model.
Yeah.
So I did a one-stop here last week, and I think the optimals now shift over to the two-stop. So
yeah,
interesting to see the difference.
Agreed. And that was a big thing last week as well. We saw, I believe it was Young Wakey did a two-stop, was very aggressive strategy, but that's been all thrown out the window. It's, how can I say it? There's been a lot of, the physics change has been massive. So have you had a chance to sort of play around with it and tell everybody how it's all working?
Yeah, look. Put it this way, I've done a couple of different categories of racing in road cars that have been tuned up. I can say there's a big difference there, but when you come over to these group cars, the tuning's not so bad on it. You can be a little bit forgiving and save a bit, but if you be too aggressive, that's where it really eats into your tyres. So it's down to the tune and driving style.
Yep, and that makes it more paramount than ever to make sure you nail those tunes with your team. And not only that, to be as smooth as possible. We saw with the NSX last season, smoothest really yielded results, and we're keeping a big eye on how the swing of things is with these cars in particular, because this is a significantly slower car, far less error, of course. Looking very much forward to seeing what the guys in Divisions 3 and 4 can do as they race tonight. And speaking of the guys racing tonight, there is quite a few in the chat. I've just been keeping eyes out. Evening to Budsy, Snake Eyes, Rebs is in the chat as well. Lenocious, Mr. Bumcrack, Midpack Hack. I can't remember who that is off the top of my head. Probably Turtle. No, it can't be Turtle. I've got no idea anymore. Make sure you smack the like button tonight, guys, as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't watched before. It's been a while since we've been to the comms box, so I reckon what we might do is just head down to the track, start off some qualifying, and I reckon we get these guys underway because they've been quite itchy, this whole division, to get themselves on the front foot and get behind the wheel of these beautiful BMWs. There's been some fantastic liveries this season. And have you got a personal favourite, Friday?
Oh, I mean, I'm going to be biased, and I do enjoy a Womble livery. There's a lot of detail in it. Being a Red Mist driver, ours looks pretty unique to the rest of the pack, I think. But yeah, I like that tyre power livery a lot. It's very clean, basic. So it's probably one of my favourites on the grid out of all of them, actually. So,
yeah. Karen's just forgotten to do something real quick as we see Mad Rip come down onto the track, of course. There we go. Now we're right. Karen's just done it, Karen. Anyway, we have got a fantastic field of cars this year, or this season for Sector 1. We'll gloss over them in due course, but Trial Mountain, it's going to be intriguing to see because everyone had a strategy ready to go for tonight, but it looks like with this new physics update that a lot of these guys will be scrambling at the last minute to make sure these cars are fit, firing, and ready to go. We'll gloss over the field. Oh, you go.
You can think of it as perfect timing, because we've had one race here with drivers that are nice and quick and can be very aggressive on the car and get away with it. And now we've got Category 2 here tonight, both on different physics, so there'll be a lot of team talk, and I think it's really good it's happened now instead of more mid-season, because everyone's got a baseline from the start for the rest of the rounds.
Starting up the front of the field for Division 4, it's Renegade for Hooncorp Esports, and Renegade had a great start to Sector 1, especially when he was in the Super. He was a title challenger. Just feeling like NSX a little rough going last season, but looking forward to seeing what he can do. We got Mad Rick for Black Rose Racing, and his first season in the Sector 1 system, he had a little bit of biff and barge, but he's really enjoyed his time here and really wanting to make an impression. He's worked quite hard on his racecraft and gotten along with quite a few of the drivers now and found himself a nice little home. His teammate for Black Rose Racing just... Oh, no, for... oh, that's Blacklight. Wait a minute. Blacklight's back. That's right. It is Jim Bob as well, who's returned to the fold for Blacklight Motorsports. And Jim Bob, a little bit of ring rust. Be interesting to see how he goes behind the wheel. He did a charity race, of course, for the Race for Muller for Octane Online Racing. So he hasn't been able to see completely. Be interesting to see what his results come up with. Spitzy for Kraken Esports, and Spitzy, he had a rough end of the season in the NSXs. He's wanting to really make amends. Gorgeous looking car though, I won't lie. Debrev for CP Motorsports, and all I'm going to say about that livery is someone goes absolutely round. I think it might be... no, not sure who that was, but Debrev, it looks like a chocolate-coated banana, that livery. I'm sorry, Chase, but... Oop. Got the wrong one, but anyway. There we go. Thanks, guys in chat. I'm all over the place. PD Pops for... he's moved across, actually. PD Pops has now moved to Doghouse, as I understand it. I might be on the wrong. But PD Pops, he had a season from hell last season. And basically, if he didn't have any bad luck, he'd have none at all. There is a bit of a light in the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, though, because this is a brand new season, brand new car. Very intrigued to see what he can do there. Kezar for Brocky 05 Sim Racing, and that's another cracking livery as well. These guys just never miss on these livery side of things. Boxer Beauty staying on board with them for another season, and they've been a proud sponsor of the Brocky 05 crew. Looking very much forward to seeing how these guys go tonight, and we better cross over to... Who's over in... Lambinator. There he is. So Lambinator for Lightning Motorsport. And Laminator's had some strong results. He had a strong back end of the season, actually, where he ran in Division 3 a couple of times. Yielded some good results as well. We've got the man who's just finished his new rig. It's Womble for Red Mist Racing, and Womble's been trying to find out what his issues were over the off-season yet again. Had a lot of issues in terms of his throttles and pedals, and a lot of stuff just going wrong there for him. There was a couple that I didn't see, so I'm just trying to find who else is it. There we go. We got Nemesis, of course, the team leader of Symmetry Motorsports, the newly renamed after they changed the name from ISA Esports to Symmetry. And God, that car's a stonking looking thing. It really is. These Symmetry guys had a bit of a rough run for their first rookie season in Sector 1. They're back for Season 2, and they've yielded some strong results. Looking very much forward to seeing what they can do, especially with a season under their belt, under the system. Last but not least, of course, the malevolent one for Deeds Racing, or no longer Deeds Racing. It's now Switchblade Sim Sports. Pocket Knife are back. And it's a gorgeous livery, of course. Brand new from the Stranger. That beautiful pink tinge. And so far, it looks like Mad Rick at the top of the timesheets at the moment. Barely, though, with a 1 minute 51.002. Friday, were there any sort of surprises so far for you here?
No, not really any surprises, you know. Expect Maverick to be up there. Everyone's kind of bunched up a bit together. You've got Maverick and Wartime that are out leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. But everyone else is really close together, so no surprises yet.
Looks like Wartime's going to pit as Jim Bob pops himself up to P4. 1 minute 52.7, that's a good time. There we go, Petey Pops as well, just drops himself up to P6, so we might jump on board with Petey Pops for a lap of Trial Mountain as he goes through turn 1 and then following turn 2. As the Good Doctor goes to P3, that's a strong time for the returning Good Doctor. Petey Pops just a little bit of fun to steer, plaguing the front end of that M3. Pull it up nice and early. And they get a strong exit. You want to make sure that you can just control the throttle. It's very, very easy to get that wrong. Yeah, and onto the back straight. Good exit out of the big left-hander. Means that you could really nail down the top speed. You're looking for about a 265 kilometre an hour approach. It's one thing to get the corner nailed though. You can make a massive difference in time. Break it nice. Keep that tight entry. Look for a wide exit. Power down on the throttle. Petey Pops is up. He's 4/10 up on his best lap at the moment. Now this goes uphill and downhill and it unsettles the car quite a lot. Especially with the weight transfer. It's Maverick pits. Looking like a decent lap here from Petey Pops. He's definitely going to move up the field by the looks of things. And now this is the formidable, tricky section. The big left-right. Used to be in Gran Turismo a massive hill. The Hill of Death, I believe it was called through Reddit. Strong lap at Trial Mountain, though. We'll see where Petey Pops puts himself up. Puts himself up to P8 at the moment. 1.7 seconds behind Maverick, though, who's set a fantastic time. That 1 minute 51 flat. Still staying up. As Dobrev now pops himself up to P3 with a 1 minute 51.8. So there's a lot of time to find between Wartime and Maverick tonight. Some of these laps now starting to come through. Big J just pops himself up to P5. 1 minute 51.9. And in the practice sessions, I believe Friday, he was the quick one.
He was one of them who was up there. I expected him to be up there. I just thought it'd be a lot closer between him and another couple like Maverick and Wartime. They're very close together, and then you got about 8/10 back to Dobrev, and then everyone else is very close together. So it's a bit different in practice. They're all pretty close.
He's up at the moment on his best lap, but he's got Womble right in front of him, and there's not really much that Womble can do at this point, because Womble himself is on a lap. Maverick, of course, about to start his out lap. Wartime's on a lap now, so we'll just see how he's going. Looks like he's got a bit of a different driving style compared to a few of the others here. He loves to trail break that front nose in a bit more, whereas most people like to... well, he's down on his lap. Still a very strong lap, though. 3/10 clear. Still would put him in a comfortable P2 at this point. As Petey Pops goes into P7. Keza Johnson up to P5 now. And he's got a little bit of a helping hand here with Petey Pops in 7th. He's got a bit of a tow as Dobrev goes faster again. 1 minute 51.4. Look at that rear end just dart around. Gets a beautiful entry through turn 1. It just looks like... Oh, there we go. Wartime straight to the top. With a 1 minute 50.702. That is a strong lap too.
It's a very strong lap right when it counts as well. So we'll have to see how everyone responds.
Laminator to P2 now. With a 1 minute 50.8. So we're seeing a few of these laps starting to come through now. We better jump on board with the Black Rose Racing's Madrick, who was on top before Wartime dropped the absolute hammer there with a 1 minute 50.702. That's going to be hard to beat. But with the physics update that's just happened, we don't know if that's... Oh, he's just grazed the wall a little bit there. And he's well down as well. So that might be Madrick out of it. Debrev's down at the moment. Good Doctor's done. Here comes Keza, but Keza was on a... I don't know what...
Yeah, they're all down.
Yeah, looks like Wartime might just hold on. It looks like Keza and Petey Pop's here, though. Just having a little battle in qualifying, which might bode well for the race in terms of Keza. He looks like he's been able to make the move quite cleanly as well. And he's flashing the lights too, so Petey Pop's not happy about something by the looks of things. Yep, well down as well. 1 minute 53.3. Badrick's not going to improve. Not sure who's still on a lap at the moment, though. Looks like Jim Bob, he's going to be the last one to cross. So it looks like Wartime will be taking pole position. 1 minute 50.702. That is a phenomenal lap to take the top spot. Wow. That's a tense qualifying. I tell you what, these guys would have been stressing a little bit about this one.
Oh, I think everyone was stressing about it, but now they're all on track together. I think they're all a little more relaxed now, knowing that it's the same for everyone. No one's clear and far out there. But Wartime, you know, putting it in right when it counted at the end of the 1 minute 50.7.
Yeah, agreed. It was a strong lap indeed. So, might just cross over to the qualifying results, courtesy, of course, of our Adelaide Ceramic Coatings. Wartime on top with a 1 minute 50.7, a tenth and a half behind his Laminator. Madrick in third, Debrev with fourth, Good Doctor a fantastic return, P5, Keza in sixth, Big J in seventh, Petey Pops in eighth, Renegade in ninth, Spitzy rounding out the top 10, followed by the Malevolent One, Jim Bob, Nemesis, and of course Womble bringing up the rear. So, whew, what a lap by Wartime though. That was
He put it in when it counted, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a phenomenal lap. He really made it work for him. So, guys in chat, we're just having a look at the chat, actually. It's flowing at the moment. Sean O'Sullivan said, nice work, Wartime. Agreed. Phenomenal lap. Laminator, well done from Revs. Laminator said, only had one shot. Whew, so he put the pressure on himself then, and he delivered in spades. Evolution Sim Racing said, damn, ninth on the grid, penalty on the final lap got me. Yeah, it is a tricky little track here in terms of the track limits. So, any thoughts on that qualifying session there, Black Friday?
Well, you've got Madrick. He came out with a 1 minute 51 flat, and then he got knocked off. I think he didn't really have a good second half of his qualifying. And while I was watching and going through it, there were a few people that got a bit held up, I think.
Yeah.
But now it's race time, you know, like it's not going to matter where you start. It's grid racing at the end of the day. They've got 25 laps to make it happen, so...
I think it's going to be very, very intriguing to see as well in this race who actually has a good qualifying setup compared to a good race setup as well. We might see the field really shift and change, of course, but that is then. This is now. We are definitely looking forward to this one. Division 4. They've been waiting quite a while to get on the track. We've actually been badgered left, right, and centre about when they were going to return. And these guys have got very itchy feet, I can tell you that right now. Let's get down to the track, though. Absolutely beautiful looking grid as we got 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, full red here at Trial Mountain. We are underway, lights are green. Strong start from Wartime. Everyone looks like they've gotten on very, very well. Wartime looks like he's had an absolutely storming start. We go into turn 1. Is there going to be carnage? Everyone's just sort of... Oh! Debrev's gone round! Oh, Renegade's had a big moment. No, that's Keza. Keza and Debrev have had a big coming to. So what's happened here? We've had carnage already at the first turn. It looks like Debrev's already out of control. Kez has just been helped along by the looks of things.
Looks like we've already had about 3 drivers be affected from the start.
Debrev's had another big moment as well. He's gone around again, so his season's already in a bit of a rough start. Malevolent One's also down, Renegade's also down, Jim Bob's also down, but back at the front, Wartime's under pressure. Look at Laminator, he's looking very aggressive, very racy early on. Wants to take positional change of the lead. And he gets it done as well. That's a strong move early on by Laminator. That is a sign. He's looking forward to this one.
He's made his statement, hasn't he? He's gone, I want the lead, I think I can do this. So see if Wartime responds or if they all fall together. You've got Maverick catching up behind him ever so slightly.
Yeah, I wouldn't count out Maverick either.
I wouldn't count out Big J at the back here too. He's just in touch, so if he can get a few good laps down, he'll be up with this pack.
And it looks like Good Doctor at P5 as well. He's also had a great start. Still hanging about there. It was good qualifying from him. And Nemesis now up to P6 as well. So Nemesis has benefited greatly from all of this.
Well, Womble's benefited greatly from this too. He started in last and he's now already up to 9th. So he's just ahead of Jim Bob there, and he's going to start putting pedal to the metal and see if he can work his way up.
And I'll tell you what, Womble, he loves a good scrap, but Jim Bob, he's been chomping at the bit for a bit of a beef on the field. He's been out of the seat quite a while, as our old mate Jim Bob. For those who don't know as well, Jim Bob was around from the very get-go of Sector 1. Retired a few seasons ago from on-track racing. Still did a lot of admin work though, and also an awesome commentator, I won't lie. Some of the biggest moments we've had in Sector 1 is he goes purple, along with everybody else, of course. Yeah, some of the biggest moments we've ever seen in Sector 1, of course, with his commentary. So it looks like Laminator's been able to stretch the legs a little bit. Wartime, P2 at the moment. He can't really get push too hard because it looks like Maverick and Big J definitely running with him. As PD Pops. Look at this battle. A little bit of biff and barge here between Nemesis and PD Pops. PD Pops holding the inside line. Can he make it count? Does. Gets the position now. So it looks like Nemesis wanted to put the nose up the inside. It nearly worked for him. Spitzy's going to have a look at the... Can Spitzy get around the outside? Nemesis takes an awful lot of the curb. There might be an invoice for that one. No, there is. Yeah, there is. There is half a second invoice. So Spitzy, he will benefit from this. Looks like PD Pop's already been able to form a gap as well.
So we've got Laminator's already checked out to the tune of 1.5 seconds ahead of Wartime. So he is proper, all systems go.
Yeah, but I'm wondering in terms of the setup as well, is he quicker on the... Is the setup quicker for race pace or is it quicker for qualifying? Because it's one thing to have a good qualifying setup, it's another thing to have a good race setup and a qualifying setup combined. Because if you've not got the tyre life during the race, you're really going to hamper yourself late in the stints, and that's something you really want to avoid.
Well, you'll get these cars late in the stint that are set up to tyre saving. They'll catch back up to whatever the other guys put onto them. So it's going to be an interesting stint. We'll have people run away at first, and then they'll get caught up by these cars that are quite a bit better on tyres than them.
So Big J at the moment, he's got Maverick just in front of him there. Just wondering to see if there's going to be a move here up the inside. Big J does go up the inside. Is he going to make it count, though? Is he going to make it stick? Oh, no, he must have just grazed the wall because it looks like Maverick's going to have a look on the outside here. 2 into 1 here does not work as we go back down the field a little bit more. Good Doc and PD Pop's now having a little bit of a slobber knocker. And these are two drivers here that are the epitome of respectful racing. Good Doc looks like he's suffering a little bit with some form of lag, a little bit of an ECU issue. Have to keep our eyes on that one. He's done a great job so far, though, to hold off Petey Pops. Petey Pops looking quite strong. Good pace early on. So might just run through the field after a three-lap stint. Laminator leads the way, 1.5 seconds to the good. Wartime in second. They've skipped away from Big J in P3. Madrick in fourth, who's got 5-second gap already to the good doctor, who's under siege from Petey Pops. 7th position is Nemesis. Womble in 8th. He's been able to get away from Jim Bob. Renegade in 10th. This is a little bit of a battle pack here. Keza Johnson in 11th. Malevolent One in 12th. Spitzy in P13 and Debrev way down in P14 at the moment. Not the start he would have liked at all. There might be some pens clicking in the steward's office later this week. We'll have to keep our eyes on. But it looks like Laminator's just been able to get away. Big surprise for mine is Nemesis being able to stretch the legs of this BMW and hold a net 7th. Is a great job so far.
Got Big J coming up to the back of Wartime here up the front too, so he's managed to catch up.
Just looking through.
Madrick's dropped off the back a little bit with this battle pack, so I think Big J's got a car that's going to be quite a bit better than Laminator up the front possibly. He's gaining tenths and tenths on him overall.
Keza Johnson's just gone past Renegade as well for P10. So Keza fighting his way back. After what happened at the start of that race, that lap 1 contact, that was a massive impact. Just looks like you're right. The Laminator, although he was able to stretch the legs 2 laps ago, the gap's slightly coming down.
Yeah, I think he's gained about a second in the last lap, Big J on Laminator.
Big J's pace is looking pretty ominous then. Oh, he cut a lot of turn 2 though. No invoice at this stage, but that BMW from Big J looks quite planted, looks quite stable. A little bit of understeer in the front end, but he's been able to really pull it up. It's working for him, and Madrick is starting to come back to these guys a little bit as well. Madrick in P4. So this little battle pack for what is effectively second in the race, all starting to catch up to Laminator at this point. And then you've got a little bit of distance, of course. Petey Pop's now up to P5. Laminator's got
this.
Oh,
Sorry, you've got this battle pack here. You've got Nemesis in 7th, but then you've got this angry battle pack from 8th down, all caught up to the back of him from 8th to 12th, are all on the back of 7th now. So Nemesis is going to have quite a bit of pressure from behind.
On board the Red Mist Racing BMW of Womble. And if there's a man that's been keen to get behind the wheel of this car once again, we've never heard the end of it. Womble has been very vocal. So it looks like Keza Johnson under threat. Renegade wants to stick the nose in. He just can't quite get it there though. Malevolent One just hanging back off this group. So it looks like Malevolent One doesn't want to get involved in any trouble at the moment. He's just keeping tabs with these guys. Jim Bob's made a great start. I think he qualified P13, if I remember correctly. So he's made up 4 positions. I might be wrong. Evening as well in the chat to Shadow Racing and Adelaide Ceramic Coatings, our major sponsor, of course, of Division 4. As there's been big contact! Kez has dropped right down. I think there's been contact as well with Womble.
Yeah, there was an incident there. A couple of cars came together. Fortunately, that's racing.
Oh, and Jim Bob's just nailed him, and it's checked everyone up. And then there's a second piece of the pie. So it looks like Jim Bob just had nowhere to go. And that's put Womble and Jim Bob, all the hard work they've done, that's put them well off the pack. So my big question for that contact will be, was there a bit of a helping hand there from the car behind into Jim Bob? That's the real question here, because if there was, ooh, that's going to be a bit of a ugly one to digest as we go on board now with Big J and P3 looking up the inside of Wartime. Oop, not quite got him. He's up the inside. Can he make it stick? He does. Wartime's going to look for that wide line, though. Looks like Big J's got it done now, though. 3 seconds he's got to find. Laminator's stretched out. Oh, and Wartime nearly just ran too deep there by the looks of things. Wonder if he's starting to struggle in tyre life. And speaking of tyre life, we might cut to the APR performance tyre and fuel thingy, Bobby. You can tell it's day one blues here at the comms box. We've been out of it for a little bit. Black Friday, do you want to start with Laminator and how he's doing?
Yeah, so for the APR tyre and fuel thingy-mabobby, as it's called, we've got Laminator doing alright. He's used about, it's the right-hand tyres we'll talk about. So the rear is used to just under half of it's gone, but just over half of his front right's gone. So he could potentially be doing a 2-stop there. He's got about just under 50% fuel. And then behind him, Big J's almost worn through his front right. It's almost totally checked out, guys. He's got probably maybe one more lap in that. Just a little bit less fuel on board. Same with Wartime, front right again, screaming out for mercy. He's got about a third of that left. Madrick behind, he's got about 50-50 on his tyres. He's doing pretty good on his tyre wear, so both those tyres are about half worn at the moment, and he's got about 45% fuel. So he's looking really strong compared to these guys up ahead that are starting to struggle on their tyres now. Petey Pops is in a bit better position fuel-wise, but the exact same as Maverick behind. Good Doc, he's exactly the same as Petey Pops ahead of him. Nemesis is just a little bit more front right than the guys ahead of him, but he's still pretty good on his rear right. Renegade's pretty good on the fuel wear, he's got 50%, and the tyre wear he's got 50-50 on that as well. Kez has got a little bit over 50% left in both of his right-hand tyres, but he's only got a third of a tank of fuel. So he's really chewed through the fuel. Malevolent has got about 50% of fuel, and he's used his front right. There's probably about a third of that left. Womble, as we just see him getting past there by Jim Bob, he's got about 50% of his fuel, and he's pretty 50-50 on his tyres as well, so that car's looking good. He's just been a bit unfortunate. Same as Jim Bob. Jim Bob's used all of his fuel bar a third, almost a quarter now actually, and he's about 50-50 on his tyres too. Debrev, he has almost cooked his front right-hand tyre. He'll probably only have about one lap left in that, and he's about 45% fuel. And then Spitzy, he is totally gone of his front right, as we see him just come off the track now. That front right is cooked. There's nothing left on it, and he's deciding to go around again.
That's interesting because
yes.
Yeah, the new update has got simulated punches into this as well. So Spitzy, if his tyre is absolutely dead, he is about to lose a truckload of time and doesn't even know it. But
in another series I raced in, there was a guy that ran out of tyres on one side of the car, and by the time they were both totally gone, it was 9 seconds a lap he was losing.
Oh, that's ugly.
Which was crazy, because it should have only been about 2.5 seconds.
And the big thing is that...
Oh, he's gone off again.
The big thing as well is Womble pitting early yields a bit of an undercut here, but it means he's going to have to find that extra lap or two later on in the race. He will get a net benefit from this, but I'm not too sure. Oh, and looks like Wartime. Just a little bit wide. And Spitzy's gone, so Spitzy's had a major drama there. It looks like that contact you were talking about before into the wall has been terminal. And that is Spitzy out of the race as well for Kraken Esports. This battle here is just really intriguing at this point. Maverick and Wartime. Wartime was very, very strong towards the end of the last season as he just runs out a little bit too deep. Maverick's going to have an awesome slipstream here too on the main straight. And it looks like, Lemonade has been well and truly able to check out on these guys. He's well clear at this point. 5.4 seconds to the good, but that car looking very, very strong indeed.
So we've just had Nemesis come into the pit as well, and Jim Bob, but Nemesis was still in that 7th spot before he pitted. So it'd be interesting to see where he kind of ends up 10 or 11 when most people would have pitted, I think. I think there's maybe 2, 3 cars on the field that could potentially do a one-stop this race. And they all haven't pitted yet, so we'll just have to wait and see who does what.
I'm wondering what's going on here, though. It's saying forced deceleration in progress, and yet he's pitting. So I wonder if that means that he's actually going to burn the pit, like the penalty, as he comes out of the pits.
No, it'll just apply the next lap.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, it does.
There we go. So there's something new that we didn't realise.
Ooh.
That's a tricky little one. So if you've got a penalty, you can just burn it as you get out of the pit exit. But yeah, that's something
Well,
new.
that's interesting because that's probably more beneficial than burning a penalty at half the racetracks. So if that does that at every racetrack, that'll have to be looked into or something.
Yeah, because that basically near nullifies the penalty that he's just had. So the big thing about that is that you probably lose with a half-second penalty. It's more like 2 seconds you lose down the straight because you're compensating for such a speed difference. But coming out of the pits like that, it's basically nullified because you're coming onto the first turn so quickly at that point. As the top three
in the pits.
Looks like Maverick's got a little bit better of a fuel save, 25% in the tank. Wartime, though, definitely suffering. Good Doc, what a save from the Good Doctor, though. PD Pops looks like he's gone around again. Yes, he has. So it looks like he's wanting to stretch the tyre life as far as it can go. Get a little bit of a net yield towards the end there. Look at these guys pitting now, though. Renegade's got a bit of a fuel save. Keza Johnson's also going to suffer here in terms of the fuel. Big J, I believe, did pit early.
We'll see Big J coming around now. He did pit just before. He's put in 3/4 of fuel tank and he's got very fresh racing softs on. So.
And Lemonade has come out of the pits as well. So Maverick and Wartime, they were already joined at the hip as they left, entered the pits. It looks like Maverick's still joined at the hip with him. So it looks like maybe Wartime took less fuel. Say just to hold the track position against Maverick.
There's definitely a fuel discrepancy between the top 4 people at the moment who all have pitted. I mean, from 2nd to 5th. PD Pop still hasn't pitted, but Laminator, Big J, Wartime, Maverick, all on different fuel numbers.
Look at this big battle pack, though, from 7th down. 7th to 11th is... You can throw basically a wet paper rag over these top 5 as Renegade sort of looks up the inside. Or not Renegade, Nemesis, sorry. These two very good friends off the track, I must admit. Looks like Renegade's just struggling a little bit. Nemesis having a big moment, though. And this here has got big implications for the start of your championship. If you want to get off to a good one. Looks like Nemesis under siege a little bit from Womble here, who's been able to make some net gains, even after that contact. Oh, Nemesis trying to squeeze Womble. Womble's got the nose up for quite a while, but Nemesis brakes a little bit better, has the better line.
Definitely getting very tight there. You've got Malevolent on the back of this as well, so...
Yeah,
do they be aggressive now and go for positions, or do they all work together to try and get themselves a better spot?
I was talking to the Malevolent one earlier today, and he wasn't too confident on the pace side of things. He felt that there's still a little bit left in the tank. Womble just decides to throw the nose up. Just can't get it done, though. Malevolent one tries to look on the outside. Can he get it done on the inside, though? Gently just nuzzles the car and he gets it done. Great move there from the Malevolent one. That was a strong move up the inside, on the outside. Line came back to him. Womble's going to fire it up the inside, though. Oh, this is going to be dicey as they go into turn 1. Malevolent one's just able to hold off, but what it's done, it's let Nemesis fall behind Renegade, but they've gotten away from those two.
Renegade's just picked up a half-second penalty as well. So
oh no! That was a great little battle, that actually, between Womble and Malevolent. Very, very clean as well. PD Pop's now still out at the moment after 11 laps. He's definitely going that one stop, but looking at the lap times at the moment, he's in the 54s and he does not want to be in that sort of company. So he's really trying to make this one-stop work.
Well, update-wise, if you look at the lap times, you can see what it's done. As your tyres worn, your times come down. You can't set the same kind of times on an almost half-worn tyre anymore. As soon as it's a little bit gone, your times start dropping down, and you can see what it's done. But everyone will be suffering from that as well.
I'm going to commend PD Pops here. He is brave trying to take on the one-stop, especially with this new update. And you can see he's lost a second in lap time already there. Lambinator will be on the rear end of PD Pops before you know it, but yeah, I'm not sure. With this new physics update, 95% of us up and down the field talked about the one-stop not being an option anymore. 2 and even possibly 3 stops would be the general consensus, but yeah, it's going to be tricky for PD Pops unless he's got something extra in it.
Well, as a one-stop driver from last week, it's really interesting for me to see someone else attempting to do it with the same, with the different physics. So
yeah,
I can definitely say he's in a lot worse of a position than what I would have been in my race tyre-wise, but fuel is nailing it, so
yeah, and
I
that's
just have to wait and see. At least we'll have that data, and all the teams will have that data, and everyone can go back to the drawing board.
just going back now to the Nemesis Renegade battle, because it looks like these two are starting to butt heads a little bit. As Nemesis runs a bit wide, Renegade, just raises the side a little bit. And these two just starting to get a little bit feisty. It means the Malevolent One and Womble will be closing up. Renegade, he thought he'd be a bit higher than this. He was involved in that turn 1, lap 1 drama. He's got a big run though. Up the inside of Nemesis. A little bit of a piff and barge on the back straight here.
Well, Laminator's just about to assume the lead again.
He is behind PD Pops.
Had a very slow lap.
So he's done a 51.3 here. Laminator can't really afford to sit behind PD Pops too long. Of course, PD Pops not entitled to move out of the way. This is for position. I reckon Laminator would be, he'll be flashing the lights pretty soon. Oh, he sends it up the inside though. PD Pops just does not have the grip, and Laminator assumes the race lead now. So he might just run through the field at the halfway point. Laminator, as you've just seen, takes command of top spot. PD Pop's still on this alternate strategy in P2. Big J made his way up to P3. Wartime up to 4th with Maverick still attached to the hip. The Good Doctor just on his own at the moment in 6th position. Solid result. 7th position is Keza. Renegade up to P8, who's skipped away from Nemesis. Malevolent One's in 9th, so Nemesis must have had a big moment somewhere. It's done a moment of 50.
His last lap was a 56.
Yeah. So something big's happened there. Malevolent One's done a great job as well to get himself up to 9th. Womble in P11 at the moment. Jim Bob in 12th. And Debrev there in P13. Gutted for Debrev because that whole scenario at turn 1 has effectively ruined his race, but he's still out there. And we can still admire that.
Sign. You want to get data for your season. You want to at least go out there. Anything can happen. Just because you stuffed up on lap 1 doesn't mean you have to come last.
PD Pops comes in.
Sticking it out.
So PD Pops, he's been able to make that one stop last, but I don't know. It's he's lost a lot of time trying it. It's going to be intriguing to see as pit crew wait for PD Pop's arrival. It's going to be intriguing to see though what PD Pops can do, because if he's the only one stop and these other guys are all committed to a 2-stop. Donkhouse crew go to work. It's, yeah, just have to wait and see what PD Pops does. He might be brought back into the soup a little bit in terms of strategy. Looks like he might just pop out, I'd say, behind Renegade. And yeah, I'm not sure about this. Yeah, so he's popped out in front of Renegade, so that was critical. Oh, but Renegade's just given him a little bit of a hip and shoulder on the way. Hey. Renegade goes through as well, so PD Pops now, he's up, yeah, dropped down to P8 on a one stop. Brave strategy.
We got Keza up ahead's picked up a 1 second penalty as well.
Looks like this is our big battle at the moment though. P9 to 11th. Nemesis, Malevolent One and Womble. So you've got Symmetry Sim Sports, you've got Switchblade Sim Sports, and then you've got Red Mist Racing, and all three of them not afraid to throw down as Malevolent One. Humes the inside line. Oh, a little bit of a bump there from Nemesis. They're not playing fairly, but we love a little bit of paddle rubbing here at Sector 1 as long as it's fair and clean. Nemesis round the outside. Can he pull it up? Oh, Malevolent One just cuts across the nose a little bit, but gets it done. That's Malevolent One up to P9 now, so he's making tracks. Jim Bob's now still involved in this too, as well as Womble. These two aren't out of it, so there's still a net ninth for these guys.
You got Madrick up in 4th. He's just got into the rear bumper of Wartime now, so we just bump drafted him down that front straight. Now he's backed off a little bit. It looks like he's possibly working with the car ahead to do a bit better. He's got really good tyres and fuel too compared to Wartime, so
yeah,
I'm definitely at that crossover point where the better tyre is going to shine.
I think for Madrick as well, I think he's just been biding his time by the sound of things, just trying to look after that car. And it seems like he's doing a great job of it. We saw in last season with Madrick, he sort of, especially the first 2 or 3 races, he really just had to adjust to the league racing style of things. And over time, slowly developed into a driver that's very, very clean, very fair. Found a new home at Black Rose. And it looks like the work within Black Rose, it's a very solid squad. Looks like he's starting to net results as Madrick now goes up the inside, takes P3, but Wartime definitely wants to argue about it. You can't really go 2 into 1 here, boys. It looks like Madrick's got it done, so now for Wartime, it's about just probably sticking with Madrick at this point, seeing what the pace is for the Black Rose racer.
I'm a bit worried about Big J here. He's absolutely cooked his front right-hand tyre. There's nothing of that left, and he's still got 10 laps to go, so he's still got to try and get another lap or 2 in on his 2-stop strategy. That's a car that's obviously chewing into its front right-hand tyre compared to the rest of the boys. Like Madrick pitted at the same time, and Madrick's still got half of his front right-hand tyre left.
Yeah, and it looks like if Big J's got to get another 2 laps in, he's going to lose some serious time here. Battle with Keza and PD Pops here. Looks like PD Pops has been able to just catch up to Keza here. Renegade's gone past both of them now, so Renegade's...
Oh, we've had another issue back at Jim Bob. Nemesis, something happened there. I didn't quite see it. I just seen a Womble stopped in the middle of the road and a few other cars driving around.
Oh, so Jim Bob sent it for the stratosphere and nails Nemesis. Oh, that's going to be a hard one to talk about over at Symmetry and Blacklight. Those two, Jim Bob just finding the rough going early. He's now well off the back in P12. He's got all that work to do again, but yeah, Nemesis. Yeah, it's been a rough run for him tonight. Qualified well, but a couple of incidents now have really put him down the outer a little bit. Womble now down 4.5 seconds behind Malevolent One as well. So Womble suffered a little bit by the looks of things. That was big contact though.
Got Big J coming into the pits now with no fuel and a cooked front right-hand tyre. So I wonder how this car's going to get home on its tyre wear. I think it's going to struggle at the end of its stint.
Yeah, so he might be a sitting duck if he's got to pit this early compared to Maverick and Wartime. And then still got to think about the Petey Pop situation as well. Looks like Good Doctor as well. Just lagging along. Keeping clean set of heels. He's 15 seconds ahead of Renegade. We know Renegade's an established Division 4 championship contender as well from last 2 seasons. So we know he's a top tier runner here. So for the Good Doctor, it's a pretty solid result.
Yeah, see him come all the way up to 4th. He's done very well.
And one of the things that was sorely missed as well over the last couple of seasons, the Good Doctor, known for his livery work as well, returned to the fold and he's produced an absolute pearl of a livery. Tyre Power Launceston, of course, getting on board with Blacklight this season. It's a cracking looking car, really is. As is every car on the grid, I should say.
Yeah, everyone's done a good job this year with the BMW, but we've just had Womble in the pits and Jim Bob in the pits now too.
Seems a bit early though to pit for tyres. End of lap 16. It's yeah, I'm not sure. 9 laps to get home. It's rough going. They're going to have to do a little bit of babying. Whereas these guys going lap 17 onwards, they're starting to you know, wear those tyres out, but they're going to be in better stead towards the end of the race as Laminator pits. Laminator being cheered on by his team as well. He's doing a fantastic job. Stickers has actually said Laminator has gone rogue. So it looks like look at the fuel difference though between Laminator and Maverick. Maverick's got a massive fuel advantage here. So he's done an incredible...
So Maverick, last fuel stop, he filled all the way while the guys ahead of him only put about 3/4 of a tank in. So that's why he's got a fair bit more fuel.
So it looks like Maverick...
He'll have less fuel time.
Yeah, he's going to gain a lot from this. At least 4 seconds. So that'll clear him ahead of Wartime. Renegade's also done a fantastic job as well. So Big J now, where does he pop out? He's definitely going to pop out behind Laminator. Is he going to pop out behind Maverick, or is he going to pop out in front is the real question here, because no, Maverick's going to pop out in front. But Big J now in front of Wartime. Petey Pops looks like... Oh, you can see the big slide into turn 1. That was phenomenal car control there from Petey Pops. What a moment that was. We'll jump on board the Doghouse Motorsports BMW now. He's got Wartime just behind, who's freshly pitted. The Malevolent One's still going around again. So Malevolent One looking to gain a yield by pitting late, having fresher tyres, being able to push to the end. That's also intriguing here. So Malevolent One's just trying to build himself into a position where he can... he'll have to pit. He'll fall behind a couple of cars here, but he's definitely going to have some very, very fresh tyres.
We've got Wartime coming up on the back of Petey Pops now. Petey Pops our one-stopper. He's already worn into his tyres a fair bit and starting to see the degradation. But Wartime's on fresh set behind him, so we'll possibly see Wartime make a move in the next few corners.
Yeah, it looks like Wartime doesn't want to sit behind Petey Pops too long. This is for position as well, because Petey Pops is committed to the one stop.
The Renegade's made a move on Keza.
Renegade up to P8 now. Sticking with this battle with Wartime and Petey Pops, so it looks like Petey Pops just taking that little bit of a defensive line. It's compromised him though. Malevolent One comes into the pits. Wartime gets a very strong exit. Petey Pops won't put too much of a fight up here. So they enter turn 1. We'll see if Petey Pops can do the big slide again that he did last lap. That was phenomenal car control. It really was. No need though. Wartime sails clear. So P4 for Wartime. He's got 6 seconds to find to Big J, but as we've heard before from Friday, Big J, big question marks over his tyre life. Madrick up to P2 now as well. So Madrick skipped 6.5 seconds clear of wartime. At least 6.5, more like 7. So that fuel advantage for Madrick's played dividends. Level at 1 now in P8. So that extra lap may just help him in the battle with Renegade here. Renegade, of course, pitted a couple of laps earlier. Here we are again, though, the big battle between not Renegade, Nemesis, Good Doctor, Jim Bob, and Brocky05, aka Keza. These guys here battling for the back end of the 10, and make no bones about it, Nemesis ain't going to be a happy boy after what happened earlier in the race with Jim Bob. That big contact at the chicane, big bus stop at the end. Looks like Jim Bob has just got a little bit of a fight himself at the moment. Keza at P12. Every position counts though at this point of the series. You want to make sure that if you have a strong run, you can make yourself into Division 3. Really build a platform. But these guys still fighting for good teams points at the moment.
Oh, it's definitely going to be interesting as a driver sliding between, category A and B in your class. A nice, interesting challenge that's added to it, isn't it?
Yeah, and as a driver that's competed across A, B, and C, I can say from experience, each group has their own strengths and weaknesses. They all play in a different way, but they all play just the same. Everyone's on the same track, same bit of tarmac. It's a bit of a bloodbath once you get down to Division 3, where they really play for keeps. They're not afraid to get the elbows out. And then in Division 2, they're very, very fast boys. They're not afraid to throw down. And then Division 1, of course, the top tier is the fastest of the fast. And if you're doing all right in Division 1, you're doing very, very well indeed. As we jump on board with Big J now. Still hanging on the back of Madrick, may I add. So we might just quickly run through the field as well in terms of positioning. Laminator, of course, 8.5 seconds to the good. Gone Rogue, as Stickers said. And it looks like he's Gone Rogue is netting results. Madrick in P2. Starting to stretch away from Big J a little bit. Wartime, 7.9 seconds to find. So that gap's actually increasing. Petey Pop's in 5th. He's got 7.3 seconds to the Good Doctor. Good Doctor in P6. Renegade in 7th. He's got a healthy little gap over to Malevolent 1, who's got a 9-second advantage over Womble. 10th is Nemesis, still in this little three-way battle here with Jim Bob. Keza Johnson in P12. Debrev just only 3 seconds back off these guys, so as we said earlier, all's not lost for Debrev. Can still net
I've been on board with Debrev for a couple of laps, and he's been catching a few tenths here, a few tenths there. With his tyre wear, I think he's going to be at least getting to the back of this pack. Don't know if he'll be able to make a move, but he'll get there.
And one big thing to note about Debrev as well, he's very, very good on his fuel and tyres. He's a great driver at conserving. He's a great driver at looking after the car and really bringing it home clean. So might just keep that, keep an eye on that. Gap down to 2.7. Still plenty on offer here. So these guys now just sort of spread out a little bit. It looks like Big J hanging off the back of Madrick, even though the tyre life is a bit of a concern. Looks like the slipstream's been able to help get a little bit more of a gap compared to Wartime. So if Wartime wants this podium, he's really going to have to work for it. And Petey Pops, tell you what, if he can get this top 5, he may very well find himself driver of the day by quite a few people, because up and down the pit lane, as we said earlier, a lot of people talked about the one-stop, saying it's not a viable strategy, saying it won't net the results. And here we are with Petey Pops, currently sitting in the provisional 5th position. This is fantastic effort. Be a great return to form as well for Petey Pops, who's had a lot of incidents through no fault of his own over the last season. He's found himself in some really awkward positions, but yeah, just not his own doing. And yeah, the NSX, he was glad to say goodbye to that. Jumped in the BMW and he's looked pretty strong. So Petey Pop's doing a fantastic job overall and working very closely with Doghouse. You can see these guys, of course, pretty strong tuners as well. They're very good at making the car setups work for them.
Well, in saying that, Petey Pops has got just over a third left on his front right-hand tyre, and Big J has the exact same amount, and Big J pitted a couple of laps after Petey Pops at least. Big J's on a 2-stop.
Yep. That's...
He's definitely done very well with that tyre management.
I reckon the good doctor, he's just hit his personal best lap. Still lagging away. I don't think the good doctor is out of this by any stretch of the imagination, though. He's 4.2 back. That gap was, what, 7 point something before? Set a 1 minute 50.
Brev's making a move on Jim Bob at the moment.
Up into turn 1. Oh, a little bit of bumping and grinding. Brev just goes sideways, and it looks like he's, yep, that sent him wide.
It's a very good save by him.
Yeah, it was. So turn 1's not really been a fan favourite for him tonight. He's been beaten around left, right and centre, which is unusual for Dobrev. And yeah, a little bit of a hip and shoulder, and it's just sent him sideways and not being able to catch it. Oh, actually, he has caught it. Beautiful save by Dobrev there. But what that's done now is all that hard work that he did to knock that gap down, it's been completely destroyed.
And probably so the race seat he sits on, that would have been a massive code brown moment.
Oh, 110%, especially through turn 1. Once you start to lose the tyres through turns 1 and 2, you're just holding on for dear life, especially the right rear. If that goes, you're in serious, serious trouble. You may as well just call your mum and say, I'm coming home. It's Petey Pops now. That gap between himself and the good doctor down to 2.1 seconds. So the good doctor's on the charge here. And wouldn't it be, as good as Petey Pops has been trying the one-stop, wouldn't it be something incredible for the good doctor, being out of the seat for a season, to come back and nail a net 5th on his return? Still lagging away, of course, but that car just still looking glorious as well. And it looks like good doctor might have to stay on board with him, but we'll just run up and down the field with 2 laps to go. Lambinator now 8.2 to the good. Maverick in 2nd position for Black Rose. Big J still holding on to 3rd position. Don't know how he's doing it on that tyre. 4th is Wartime. 5th is Petey Pops. But the good doctor is closing in relentlessly. Renegade in 7th. He's 3.9 seconds ahead of the Malevolent 1. 9th is Womble. Kez is up to 10th. Nemesis in 11th. He's got Jim Bob breathing down his neck. And Dobrev after that big shunt. If he didn't have any bad luck, he'd have none at all tonight. But it looks like the battle at the moment, definitely Petey Pops and the good doc. And it looks like the good doc's finally found his way to Petey Pops. So what's the good doctor's fuel and tyres currently like?
Alright, so he's got about half left on his front right and his rear right. Pretty good. Fuel is probably at just under 20%. Petey Pops has got a bit more fuel than that. He's closer to 25%, but because of the one stop, he's only got about a quarter of his front right left. So he'll definitely make it home on tyres, but he's obviously struggling compared to the good doc behind him on the better worn compound.
So he's definitely struggling in terms of tyres then compared to the good doctor. So the good doctor looks very, very strong here. Just a little bit of understeer though. I think Petey Pops, he's going to have to get the elbows out a little bit, and that's something he really didn't want to do.
We've got Jim Bob's got past Nemesis, and Dobrev is now only a second and a half behind these guys going into the second last lap, so Dobrev's possibly got one more chance at improving his worst luck race. Hopefully that's all his bad luck for the whole season.
Now, either of these guys deserve to be driver of the day the way they're going, but this is tricky. This is a very, very tricky little battle, this. Either one could really, this good doctor starting to home in. I think the lag would be pretty off-putting if he's not experiencing any. This good doctor now goes to the outside. Oh, he tries to get the nose in. He's looking to get a strong run. Oh, the good doctor saves it! That was a big, big moment. You could tell even with the lag that he was really struggling out of the left-hander into the bus stop.
It's unfortunate, isn't it? Because I doubt the good doctor would be experiencing any lag whatsoever. It's just GT7 doing GT7 things.
That and the fact he's from Tasmania. So the internet there, up and down the field has been talked about as bush internet, but I'll tell you right now, he's got some decent speeds, but he's just having some moments.
Well, Debrev's just made a move on Nemesis as well. And gets himself up to 12.
Oh, and he's gone! Again! We'll just grab that on replay. So it looks like he went up the inside and poor old Debrev tonight.
The good doc sends it on PD Pops now. He gets up to 5th.
Oh, and we've just missed that as well. I'll see if I can get that. So it looks like, yeah, he's just made up the inside. Oh no, he's gone around the outside. Oh, a little bit of a bump. But he's done it. Good move. Very good move. We better cross up the front, though, to Lambinator, because this is a statement win.
It definitely is. He got out the front real early and just put his foot down. And he's been leading the entire race.
Goes around the final corner now. Flashes the lights. He knows he's done it. For Lightning Motorsports, this is a big, big win for Lambinator. He will take the Division 4 win here at Trial Mountain. Maverick will finish in P2 for Black Rose. An awesome result. And on debut, Big J, despite the fact that tyre was torn to shreds, he will take 3rd position. Wartime will come across the line in 4th. Be very happy with that one. P5 on return, the good doctor. Solid result. He'd be very happy with that one tonight. PD Pops on the one-stop 6th position. Oh, he's got a serious case for driver of the day after that effort. Holy moly. Renegade will come across the line now for 7th position. On his own a little bit. 8th, and my driver of the day being biased, Malevolent One. He'll be very, very happy with that result. Womble coming across the line now. P9. Couple of big moments. Will have ruined his race. 10th is Keza Johnson. Jim Bob will be coming across the line now in 11th position. Bit of a rough one for Jim Bob. Debrev in 12th. I don't think anyone had a rougher night than poor old Debrev. And Nemesis will round out the grid in 13th position. But a big congratulations does go to Lambinator. What a drive.
Yeah, it was definitely a very dominant drive by Lambinator. He's made a statement for the season. I'm here, guys. I'm here to take it out.
Maximum points as well. Yeah, maximum points as well to Lightning Motorsport there. Former team's champions, of course, won on debut, and they will be wanting to really solidify themselves as a serious teams contender. Speaking of the results, courtesy of Adelaide Ceramic Coatings, we will just gloss through them right now. Laminator does take the top spot. Madrick in 2nd position. Sorry, something about the sunflowers here, or the dandelions here in bloody Sierra Nevada mountains. Maverick in 2nd position, Big J in P3, Wartime in 4th, Good Doctor 5th, PD Pop 6th, Malevolent One in 8th, Renegade in 7th, sorry. 9th is Womble, Keza 10th, 11th Jim Bob, 12th Debrev, Nemesis 13th, and Spitzy with that massive terminal failure after that big crash. Of course, P14, but that is Division 4, run and done for tonight. Having a look through the chat at this point, there is a lot going on. Black Friday, have you got a particular choice for driver of the day?
Look, I've got a couple of honourable mentions. I'll have to say, Laminator, obviously, for that performance. That was a very well led and dominant race by him. Madrick, I think he's done very well himself. He got stuck behind some cars after the pit cycle and decided to full fuel on the first pit stop. So he's done a really good job to only be just about 7 seconds off the back there. But my driver of the day is going to be Petey Pops. I think he's just proved that 95% of the chat saying it can't be done wrong.
Yeah,
he definitely has.
I'm mind blown by the fact he's actually done it. I can't believe what he did. Looking at the chat as well at the moment, Petey Pops is fighter himself, and I don't think he needs to. Driver of the day, Popeye. Bumcrack said, congratulations, Lambo, Madrick and Big J. John's a very, very happy chappy, of course, with Laminator taking the chocolates. Stickers has said Laminator driver of the day. Captain Muffin's fired in the chat, driver of the day, Good Doctor. Driver of the day, Maverick from Bumcrack. Last bit was Squirrely from Laminator there, so he had some issues on that last stint. Driver of the day, Popeye from Guru. Driver of the day, Popeye from Stranger. Driver of the day, God, this is so tight. Really is. Good Doctor's fired
There's
insane.
been a lot of good performing drivers, hasn't there? You know, Big J's done well on debut. Good Doc did well coming back after that season out. I think a lot of them had a bad race as well, like Womble and Dobrev definitely didn't have the greatest of races.
Yeah, agreed. I'm absolutely mind blown by that. So, where do we go from here is the real question. I know exactly where we go, and I'm going to answer that question. We are going to go straight to an intermission before we start off the Division 3 boys, and this is a big favourite for a lot of the drivers here in Sector 1, because these guys absolutely love to throw down, and there's going to be some big surprises up and down the grid. So stay tuned, guys, as we take a quick break, but we will see you back shortly after this. Evening, everyone. We are back here at Trial Mountain for Division 3 of the Trial Mountain 400 here. Oh, what a race we had in Division 4. It was absolutely phenomenal. We've had a little bit of a drinks break and ironed a few curtains, fixed a few things, and Black Friday stepped out of the comms box, done a phenomenal job. So thank you, Black Friday, for stepping in. But now we're going to look at Division 3, and joining me in the comms box for this one is a man that we all have accustomed ourselves with, famous for the $20 is $20 quote, I should say. It is John. Are you here, John?
Yeah, mate. Evening, mate, and viewers.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Good, mate. Good. Looking forward to watching some good, clean racing, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too, because we know Division 3, not afraid to throw down, not afraid to bump uglies is probably the term I've heard. Up and down the field, these guys have been absolutely brutal, and we've seen it for a few seasons now. Any surprises in your eyes, or anyone that's really stood out?
Pace-wise, I'd probably go Revs, mate. Looking very quick. Know how quick Snake Eyes. I'm pretty sure he was Div 4 last season, wasn't he?
I do believe so.
And he won that by quite a bit, if I remember.
Yeah, I think he did. If I remember correctly, he definitely won by a bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so he'll be one to watch in Div 3. See how he goes with the quicker boys and girls.
Yeah. So I've just had I've got contacts and stuff like that. There is a driver that can't get through. I'm just messaging them now because I know exactly who it is.
I know Cruisin' is having troubles internet-wise.
Yeah, I usually, we don't have this many issues in terms of everyone connecting. We've had a fair few drivers really struggle to connect tonight. And speaking of connections, we've seen a few drivers move seats. I do believe Rebs has moved across to a new team as well. I think he's moved over to Revolution E Motorsports, who cleaned up Division 2 last week with a 1-2 finish, which is massive for them. Big team points early on. Another thing that I've been eyeing off as well is the return of a couple of drivers. Freelix is back. I know that. He's back for Hooncorp. Looking very much forward to seeing what Freelix can do after a season break. And, of course, Snake Eyes stepping out of Div 4 into Division 3. He's made no bones about it. He's going to be very, very hard to beat. And I think after his domination of Division 4 last time, he'll want to really make a statement.
He definitely showed the pace that, there was sometimes he was quicker than most of the people in Div 3 last season. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he can put on tonight, or all season, should I say.
Yeah, agreed. And I know that he's been chomping at the bit to drive this car. He wasn't around when we initially drove this car back in Season 1 and 2, and he's not only that. One of the other guys I'm pretty keen to keep an eye on as well is the Stranger, who was he had a rough season and ended up having a couple of strong results towards the end, and he's just up and about at the moment. Is the Stranger? I actually got to meet up with him in Queensland while I was on holidays. Thank you, Sector 1, for providing that. And, he's been very, very laid back about this season coming. He's been, how can I say, a little too relaxed. So I reckon the Doghouse boys definitely got something up their sleeve. So I'm just waiting on Daz at the moment, who's just messaged me saying he's just rebooted his internet connection. So he's only going to be a couple more seconds. Sorry for the delay, guys. Now, what did you think of the Div 4 race, John? Did you catch any of it?
Yeah, mate, I watched quite a bit of it. Pretty hard not to watch when your teammate cleans up like that, mate. Makes me look bad, but you get that. It was quite good. Little bit messy at the start. I agree with Black Friday's decision not to red flag that. It was only a 2-car incident at the start, and there was a couple of people in chat saying red flag, but I reckon he done the right decision there.
Yeah, I think The big thing for him though was it was he avoided all the catastrophes and really didn't put a foot wrong. We've really looked after the car as well, which is a big trait, especially in terms of the tuning side of things. So that's one thing I needed to really look at. He's definitely, how can I say it? He's definitely stepped up a notch, that's for sure.
Yeah, nah, well, that's a good way to kick off the season, mate, with not just a win, but a pretty convincing win. I think it was very important how he passed P1 right out the start of the race. That probably let him run away in fresh air, look after his tyres a bit better.
Yeah, agreed. And I think he's definitely going to be one to watch as we go along this season. He's definitely how can I say it? Oh, he's come up a level.
No, he's even since I've joined the team, mate. He's you just see him getting quicker and quicker, which is good to see. And consistency too. That race showed a lot of consistency to do that for 25 laps around here. It's quite hard.
Yeah, agreed. And one of these things that we've noticed as well is the fact that a lot of these drivers, I don't think I've seen so many drivers get behind the wheel of a car before a preseason just to practice. It's absolutely insane. So that's one
it
big
was
thing.
quite good jumping on any day of the week, and normally someone had a lobby up in the afternoon to learn the new car.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if our final driver is coming back. He should be coming back any second from what I'm seeing. Just messaging him back now. So guys in chat, if you're watching this, just fire in your... well, actually, no, while we're waiting, we can talk about the Spa Formula 1 Grand Prix, the Belgian Grand Prix on tonight, of course. Very many combustible elements is probably the best way to say it. Max Verstappen, of course, with a 10-place grid penalty. Charles Leclerc effectively on pole. Sergio Perez in second position. Are you going to be watching, John? Any surprises from that, or are you not a...
I'm going to be honest, mate. I probably won't be watching. I do love Spa. Yeah, drifted apart from F1 a little bit over the years. But, yeah.
So,
I will go for Verstappen, but out of everyone, mate.
I think, Verstappen starting 11th and he qualified, half a second quicker than everybody else. I think he's going to be, there or thereabouts, but the McLarens, don't they look good? Looking at chat as well, PD Pops thanks the RDN commentary team. Awesome effort. Thank you very much, PD Pops, of course. Done an awesome job this season for in terms of the stream. The way it all looks, it's fantastic. It's very, very well presented. I've just got an update. The FIA are going to have a word with Jim Bob, according to Rainbow Socks. That's a pretty good call. Poor old Jim Bob, he's been outside of the... hasn't raced for a while and all of a sudden finds himself boxing on. So, I'm just... I reckon we're going to have to get started, I think.
No problem. If he joins during qualifying, we can put him out the rear of the grid, so he at least gets to race.
Yep. I think that's probably the best way we can go about it.
Just quickly waiting on someone to answer me, because apparently they're stuck in the lobby menu.
Who in particular is that?
But that's Black Project.
Oh.
He's in the lobby, but it's, hopefully starting qualifying will fix it. He's just typing out to let me know.
Oh, true. There's a lot of issues going on with Gran Turismo since this update. I mean, we've had
it normally happens after updates, but as you know, mate.
Especially, with the... I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's been hilarious all week since the update came out, but the Samba buses especially have been prone to exploding into the sky, so to speak, and bouncing on the tracks, bouncing up to the stratospheres, doing 21,000 kilometers an hour, and you only have to do a quick Reddit search of Gran Turismo Samba Boss to see what's truly going on. It's absolutely hilarious. And one of the things I've noticed as well, and someone posted up in a Gran Turismo group and on Reddit tonight, is that the Samba Boss even does this in the scapes as well. So the moving scapes when the car's in the game. So if you don't know what escape is just a shot that the car sort of drives itself into, like a real life photo that it drives itself into. And the Samba buses basically just try to throw themselves off into the stratosphere but can't do it, and then they end up falling off cliffs or bouncing in the air or doing inherently massive skids. So that is definitely something, definitely something incredible. So if anyone hasn't seen that, definitely worth a Reddit search to try and check on what's going on. So I think, John, what we might have to do is reboot the entire lobby, unfortunately.
No problem, mate.
Because if we've got 2 drivers having some issues at the moment, so if need be, I might be even able to host this. So what I might do, if I can I actually see the lobby settings or no?
You should be able to, mate. You just go to the little crown thing. Oh, it's not a crown for you, but...
No, I don't have that little crown, that's the thing, so...
That's because I'm king, not you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, funny. No, I can't see a place to save
You should
the
be
lobby.
able to go look at the view event settings and steal it from
Oh,
there.
yeah, there we go. So, what I'll do, what I'll do is maybe I'll open the lobby, get these guys on the way,
Yeah.
and then you jump in. That might be the easiest way to do it. Sorry about all this, guys. If we're having a couple of drivers really struggling to get in, I might chuck the lobby up. I don't know how my connection will go with stream. Oh, it should be fine actually. I'm streaming and racing. So, all right, I will create the room now. There we go. So, now that's done. Maybe, if you want to just jump across, and if anyone in Division 3 is having any issues, just jump straight across to my lobby if you want.
I'm just letting them know in the game chat, mate. 1 second.
It's very, very tricky to do this too. So to stream and to host, I've actually never done this. So this is going to be intriguing.
Yeah. No pressure, mate.
Oop, I accidentally got into the car. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to get into the car. There we go. All right. So everything should be ready to go. I don't know if you'll be able to join though. That's the real question.
Who, me?
Oh, everyone in general.
Because I'm in there and they're all my friends, should they be able to join?
Yeah, they should be able to.
Yeah.
Everyone should be able to join. I've set it to friends only, so that's that thing. Here we go. Looks like a couple of drivers. Oh, there we go. Some of the drivers are now starting to make their way across. That's good. So roll call, Division 3. If you are watching the stream, jump straight across to my lobby, and I think I've got everybody added. I think. But anyway, we're going to have a look at the chat at the moment as well again. Snake Ice is fired in 0 to 0 in one race. That's definitely the way I'm looking at this one tonight, John. I think it's going to be intriguing to see these guys throw hands. That's the biggest problem. A lot of these guys are not renowned for being calm, especially under pressure. So I think fair few of these guys are pretty keen to get underway, have a good strong season. I don't really know. Who would you consider a championship contender in this one?
Oh, there's a couple of people there, mate. Probably a fair few of the grid could do it, just depending on car setup and how they take to the new physics, really. So it's a big learning curve this race. But honestly, with Rev's pace, he should be up there. Prelix, he's quite quick, so and Killer, of course, because he's my teammate.
I've just had a comment in chat from Rainbow Socks. I have inside information about Womble in Monza, and let's just say it's not good. That's pretty good, actually. So, Stranger has just entered the car now, so I reckon we might just send the message to ready up. Get these guys on the way, I reckon. So, 10-minute qualifying here at Trial Mountain. We've had some technical issues, but we finally got there, John. So, I reckon we...
Yeah, I kind of feel useless at the moment now, but yeah.
No, you can still do your regular commentary. So, now the qualifying will begin, guys. So, strap yourselves in. After a bit of a delay, we are finally getting underway. And... it's anybody's game, really, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as I said, with the new physics, it's going to be, yeah, you can be quick for one lap, but then you're going to be quick for your whole race stint, and if you're not nice on tyres, yeah.
Yeah, agreed, and I think,
fun.
yeah, there's quite a lot of guys that are going to be keen to drive this car that have never driven it before, and they're going to get a bit overwhelmed by the scale of the situation that they're in. For the first time in Sector 1, we're all driving the same car, and it's full tuning. That's the biggest bit of all. So we'll start off with the leading contenders, of course. Black Project for Kraken Esports. Black Project, make no bones about it, he's keen to get back to the front. He's been a stalwart of Division 2 for quite a while. Spent his first season in Division 3 a couple of seasons ago. Really got used to the Ferrari, and then all of a sudden it's turned on its head and he's now driving a BMW. So, looking forward to seeing what Black Project can do. One of our new drivers, CDXL, do believe he's racing for Symmetry. Oh, no, not Symmetry. It's Datsun Racing. There you go. So, all the Datsun cars completely look different this time around. I think there's only one car with the Bacchus livery on it. Not sure which livery Datsun's got on this one in particular. Datsun, if you're in chat, you might be able to fire a little bit of a promo in if you wish. We got Revs for Revolution E Motorsports, I think it's called. Backed, of course, by Liquid Solutions, our major sponsor of Division 3. And Revs is a serious championship contender. Make no bones about it. We got Daz for Switchblade Sim Sports. Daz I've been talking to. He's had a lot of issues connecting to lobbies tonight, and he thought that the race was meant to be last week. Of course, with the whole change of the rostering and all that sort of stuff. Division 3 and 4 racing together now, not Division 3 and 1 racing together. So Daz thought last week he missed out. He's back on tonight though, so he's looking very much forward to it. Killer on the loose, your teammate John for Lightning Motorsport, and how's he feeling?
Oh, he's feeling alright, mate. Still getting to grips with these new changes to the game, but I believe he's got it in him, mate. Yeah, we'll see how he goes. He hasn't had time to practice as much as he would like, but you get that, mate.
Oh, we're going one too far. There we go. We got Prua for APR Motorsport. And that is a cracking looking car, of course. Harks back to the old mid-90s liveries from Larry Perkins. God, that is a glorious looking car. It really is. As we quickly skip over to Cruisin', who's moved over to CP Motorsports. So, Cruisin' and CP, first time they're paired together. Two long-time stalwarts of Sector 1, and very much looking forward to seeing what Cruisin' can do. We all know he's a fantastic tuner. We got Budsy, who's also driving for, he's up for Red Mist Racing now. And Budsy switching over from Symmetry to Red Mist shows that they were not mucking about when they were trying to find another championship contender. Levenspiel, of course, winning the season's championship last season. That made no sense anyway. We've got the Stranger, the team owner of Doghouse Motorsports, and doesn't that car look glorious? Seriously. That pink just pops on that livery. He's done a phenomenal job. Stranger, of course, someone that you're going to have to keep your eyes on. We got Sizzling Sausage, of course, for Black Rose, and Sizzling Sausage had a couple of rough rounds. He started to delve into this a little bit more and find his true pace, and he's done a great job. Oop.
Got Rev straight to the top, bump and rum, second, Stranger third.
Strong times as well. As Felix, he's just come across the line in P6 at the moment, so Felix is now back at Hooncorp. As VF just chimes in as well. VF now at Dadson as well. That's another new livery. So the blue car is CDXL's car, as Dadson's just fired in his chats from Harvey's Towing. Brand new sponsor, of course, for Dadson Racing. I know the green one is Mow Me Now, and Adelaide Ceramic Coatings, of course, are on the final car. So they're all a bit different this time around. Just trying to figure out.
Budsy made the smart call there. He got himself half a second penalty on the outlap, and where you serve your penalties on the start-finish straight, so that really would have cost him. So he decided to pit, go for new tyres straight away, and it's put him in some nice, fresh, clean air. Just
looking at Carbon Boy at the moment now, P14. I had the pleasure of actually meeting up with Carbon Boy this week. Absolutely class bloke, I must admit. Sat down for a palmy and a pizza and a couple of beers and yeah, shared some thoughts and tales. And talking to Carbon Boy, he didn't really want to get behind the wheel of this car this weekend. He was pretty much looking forward to having a couple more beers, to be honest. But no, he's very, very quietly confident about his season. He's looking to move up the field. And I've been corrected by Superfly as well. Sizzling Sausage did finish second in Division 4 last season, so he didn't really struggle.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
That's on us. We'll take that, Jimmy. Sorry. Anyway, jumping on with CDXL now in P2, and he's 10th and a half behind Revs, who's really made a statement. Sausage pops himself up to P8. See where XL at. He's purple. He's got that nose really dialed in on this car. Onto the back straight.
I was about to say it's turning in quite nice, but it seemed to miss the apex a little bit there coming on the back straight. Well, I wouldn't really call it an apex, it's more of a dirt X.
Carbon Boy just fires in a 51.4 for his first flying lap. The big thing about these liveries as well, this season, Dadson's actually done them all himself, as he's just said in chat. See where Budsy's at now, so he's down, he's lost a lot of time. Purple in the first sector though, that'll be very, very encouraging for XL, sorry, not Dadson. Oh, not Budsy.
Yeah, he put it into the wall. That wasn't the best.
Looks like Revs though, he's not messing about. He might just come into the pits here, he does, so looks like they're going to get one more lap. Snake Eyes in 5th position, the Division 4 champion from last season. On an out lap at the moment. You see on the top right of the front window there, and the side windows, of course, the pink numbers instead of the traditional yellow. That's to signify that he is a division champion. Reigning division champion, I must say. And Snake Eyes is one that I'm very, very keen to see where he's truly stacks up. Last season he walked away on a couple of occasions with race wins, and
yeah, he's on his out lap too, and I noticed he was doing quite a good job looking after his tyres, just getting them saved up for one pass, one, two. I think he's got time for.
Yeah, and it looks like oh, look at that, Budsy's just fired himself. Yeah, P3. There we go, Budsy for Red Mist. That's a strong time as well. 1 minute 50.082. He's got to find another 10th and a half though. It's very, very tight across the top 3 or 4. Let's see if he goes purple across the first sector. He is purple, and he's purple by a fair bit too. 0.2 of a second. He might get a slight tow here. We'll jump on board the Red Mist Racing BMW. I think that might be Carbon Boy or in front of him. I'm not too sure. Definitely looks like an APR car in front. He might catch a slight bit of the toe on the back straight. Oh, he breaks in nice and deep, does Budsy. Coming up to the second set. Oh, he's put it into the wall! Oh, and he's only down by a 10th. So he was definitely on the up. That will hurt his time. He will have a little bit of a slipstream, but...
Snake Eyes is 2/10 purple in the last sector. He does have pre-licks in front of him. Hopefully he doesn't get held up here.
Oh, there we go. Front's on board with Snake Eyes now and heading towards pit entry. Down at the bus stop.
Get a little bit of slipstream here.
So I don't know if Budsy will improve after hitting the wall, but you can definitely tell that he was well and truly up. Trill drops in with a 1:52.1. That's a nice lap. Wait and see what Snake Eyes does. Bang! P2.
P2. So close.
Oh, so that's a REM 1-2 we're looking at right now. It's Carbon Boy. 1:51.2. So seeing some laps come through now. Stranger's done. Budsy's still going. XL's still going. Snake Eyes is done. Revs is on a final flyer too. I'm very intrigued to see where these guys end up. 3 of the first 4 still going at the moment.
XL's 3/10 down. He just tapped the wall a little bit there, which would have hurt him.
Budsy, is he up or down? He doesn't clip the wall this time. Oh, he's purple by 0.004 of a second though. Watch him as he heads towards the lake. Dips it into left-hander. Slightly off camber. This is going to be a solid time. It's going to put him somewhere up there. Pulls it in tiny little bit deep. Nails the apex perfectly. Good exit. This is going to be a strong lap here by Budsy. Where's it going to go? Oh, P2! Oh, 0.002 of a second as well. But pole position does go to Revs. Barely by the skin of his teeth. We'll just quickly go to the results in a couple of seconds. But what a qualifying session, seriously.
Jeez, this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be a lot closer than what we thought. Any thoughts on that, John? Like, do you still think Killer's going to be there or thereabouts?
Oh, mate, there's no need to go there, mate. Yeah, he's got it, mate. He's just warming up. I do think Stranger could have went a little bit quicker. I noticed on his quick lap someone came out the pits. And I wouldn't say they got in his way, but it does put you off quite a bit, especially at that tricky turn 1.
Yep. So we'll cross over to the results now. And, Revs taking pole position by 0.02 of a second. Budsy in P2. That is a phenomenal result considering Snake Eyes in 3rd on debut in Division 3. CDXL 4th on debut in Sector 1. Stranger in 5th. Black Project in 6th. Freelix in 7th, a surprise for mine. VF in 8th. Cruising in 9th as well. 10th is Sausage. Rounded out by Carbon Boy, Killer, Prua, and Daz. So that is your Division 3 layup. And I think we're not going to muck around. I think we might get underway, do you reckon, John?
Yeah, mate, we left them waiting quite a bit with my lobby issues, should I say.
Nah, it's all good. So strap yourselves in, guys. We are about to go underway for Division 3. It's going to be an absolute all-time classic, I feel. 3 guys at the front. They're not going to be messing about.
I don't want to give anything away, but it's been pretty tasty during the practice stages.
So you'd see Division 3 lining up. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Oh, someone's creeped off the start a little bit. That might have been Budsy. He has jumped the start. A little bit of bumping and grinding already. We haven't even crossed 100 meters of racing yet. So that's an absolute disaster for Budsy off the start. He's fallen
Budsy's back in P14. Jesus.
All the way back in last position. That is not gone well for Budsy. That's jump start. He'll be absolutely ruining himself over that.
Oh, don't go 3 wide there.
Oh, they're going to keep it tight. There's a little bit of bumping and grinding between Black Project and Freelix. Freelix has really capitalised off the start. Already 3 positions gained. A little bit of an aggressive elbow there from Black Project. Cruisen's also found himself well and truly up in the positions. We better jump on board now with Freelix of Hooncorp Esports. Cruisen playing the smart game here. A little bit of bump drafting. Very surprised by that. Looks like we've got something a bit behind going on. Prua, just behind him is Killer on the Loose and Sizzling Sausage. Sausage sends it up the inside. That's a great move there for P11. A lot of bumping and grinding going on. These Division 3 guys aren't mucking about one little bit. Carbon Boys also had a great start.
Yeah, Carbon Boy and Cruisen have made up quite a few positions. Yeah, feel sorry for Budsy there. That's pretty heartbreaking. Drop all the way to dead last after starting on the front row.
Yep, so now it's all about that recovery for Budsy. He's going to be, I tell you what, seeing red is probably an understatement. He'll be seeing absolute crimson. And
He might try to mix up his hit strategy a little bit to make up for that. We'll see what he can do.
So someone off the back has had a big moment already. Oh, that's Freelix! Freelix has had a massive moment, so what's going on there? He was up in 6th position. So he's already lost out somewhere and he's had a big spin. So I wonder if he's had contact with somebody. Budsy now at the P12. He's gotten past Daz. So Budsy's got to be on the mother of all recovery drives. He's only 9 seconds off the back of the grid, but he's going to lose a lot of time behind these guys punching on. You can see this group in front is just really throwing haymakers. Cruisen just skipped away from that back. He's had a fantastic stuff up 4 positions. Carbon Boy and the Stranger, you can see a little bit of bump drafting just going on for a split second there. It's the Stranger now. He's going to hold off Carbon Boy, but looks like things up the inside though. Goes VF up in P8. Looks like someone's gone. I think he's gone round.
Yeah.
He has. He's gone round.
They tried 3 wide out that corner and it didn't quite work.
Let's have a look now and, he thought about it and yeah, he's just been turned. I think there was extra contact at play though. Oh!
I think it might have been 2 wide and someone came in and tapped from the rear and made that spin.
Means VF is well down in the weeds in 13th though. Better jump up the front and have a look at these guys. We haven't had a chance to look because there's been so much action up and down the field. Rev's up the front of the pack now. And as it was last week, it's currently a 1-2 for RAM on debut. This is incredible stuff. Snake Eyes in P2. And XL hanging with them in 3rd position. Black Project in 4th. Cruisen in 5th. The Stranger in 6th, who's got Carbon Boy just behind. Prua in 8th. That's a great start considering he started 2nd last on the grid. 9th is Killer on the Loose. 10th is the Sizzling Sausage. Look at these two absolutely fighting already for P10 on the grid. Budsy's just behind these guys. They don't want to muck about. Budsy will want to get this done quickly. Have a look at the action with Killer on the Loose here. He's sort of a cork.
He's nervous.
He's sort of a cork in the bottle, as you can just hear from from his teammate John here in the comps box beside me. It's just a little bit touchy at the moment.
Sizzling Sausage has a half a second penalty, and you know when you got a penalty, you try to get past the car in front of you, just so you don't lose as much.
I think there's a bit more going down the back there too. VF has just gone up the inside of Daz by the looks of things. Daz tries to hold the line wide, but nope, lets him go. So VF back up to P12 now. Don't think Daz is all quite confident with that car. Just chatting with him earlier in the week, he's just had no pace at all. He's not been confident in this track. And he's had a very, very interrupted pre-season, so to speak. The gap between Revs and Snake Eyes at the moment, though, stretching out 1.7 seconds to the good. Looks like Revs has just decided to throw the kitchen sink at this. Back-to-back fastest laps.
I think that's quicker than the qualifying lap too.
Oh, jeez. So that's just a stamper on his real pace. So he's actually got better race pace than he does qualifying paces. Cruisin' P5 just slightly catches the grass there. That would have been a very nervy moment for Cruisin'. Make no bones about it. Cruisin' is a championship contender in Division 3. He's raced these cars before. He was a championship contender back then too. But with tuning, it's right up his street, so he'll be very excited by this. Almost as excited as it being in a Ferrari. That's probably the only thing that tops it off, to be honest. Big Ferrari fan, as we know. Just checking in with Budsy watch at the moment, P10. Killer goes very, very defensive.
Probably try to put on a move down here. He does have the pace.
Just looking back
Depending
behind.
what his gearing set out.
Yeah, that's a big thing, especially on the back straight. We've found this week is the gearing on the as Budsy sends it up the inside. Oh, a little bit of a bump there. A little bit of a panel rub, but
That's fair.
that's all fair in love and war. So Budsy now goes up the inside. And I think if you're Killer here, you just sort of want to stick with Budsy. You know he's got the pace to really be a race winner, but that gap's 15 seconds now, so Budsy's got to get on with it. You know he will, so it's probably best for...
It would be your smartest option to sit behind someone a bit quicker than you, mate. Try to get carried along, learn a couple of lines.
Oh, he's just gone... Tried to stick the nose out a little bit there at the bus stop. It ended up, just... He's ended up protecting himself from VF by the looks of things. If he could just stay in the tow a little bit, it looks like Sausage is going to run with them. Very, very tight little pack this though in the back end of the top 10. It's Killer on the Killer now. He's starting to worry about VF by the looks of things. VF, of course, bit of a rough start to the race.
Got the gap up the front. Revs is 2.3 seconds clear now. Bump and runs 1.2 behind Snake Eyes. There's 3.2 to Black Project behind.
Yeah, I think Project at the moment, we're pretty happy with this result. When he first started, he did start in Season 1 of Sector 1, but he wasn't driving the BMW. He was actually driving a Lexus for Switchblade back in the day, and so as a result, he never got to drive this car. Looks pretty comfortable in it, though.
Budsy's caught up to the back of Brewer. I don't think he'll be able to dive.
Oh, he's
Won't
thinking
dive
about it.
there, but he'll scare me. Oh, don't go too wide here, boys. Don't do it.
Oh, Budsy's finding out the name of the... He's finding out the meaning of the words wide hips. Brewer just...
That was a smart call by Budsy. That was going to end in tears if they went too wide there.
So, if Budsy is now about to meet one of the most defensive drivers in the game, a guy who's renowned for getting the elbows out and making drivers earn it. Oh, there's been contact! Pruitt's just gone a little bit wide. I don't know if there was a little bit
I'm not going to lie, from my point of view, that I was sitting on Budsy and that looked like a little bit of bit of lag there, mate.
Yeah, I thought so too when I looked at it. So Budsy moves up the inside. Yeah, that's definite netcode there.
Yeah.
Definite netcode. So that's just completely internal. That's internet issues. That is. So that's not intentional. I don't believe.
From what I'm watching, none of the boys are lagging around, and I think that just looked like a little aim error.
Yeah.
That.
And that's a big thing in sim racing is netcode, especially if you go onto PC sims. You for those who don't know what netcode is, it's essentially a little bit of an error in terms of the on-track stuff, and but it's all from the simulator side, and the end result is you accidentally end up making contact when there is none. So in that, for example, there was quite a gap there between Pura and Budsy. Budsy did send it, but the game's picked up, even though that they're far away from each other, that there's apparently contact. So it is something that drivers do have to deal with from time to time, especially on the bigger sims like Assetto Corsa and iRacing. iRacing's especially renowned for it.
So XL's getting quite close to Snake Eyes here. Revs has got a 3-second lead now.
Yeah, and I was about to say the gap between Black Project and Cruisen's starting to close right up too. This is very intriguing. So, XL for Dadson Racing.
Stranger's doing nice work, sticking with Cruising. That gap's been maintained about the same.
Now, 7 laps in.
Oh, Killer and Brewer might be going to war in a minute. And VF's right behind him too. Oh, and Sizzling Sausage right behind him.
I think
Fun.
I was going to say we might just run a fuel and tyre report, but yeah, if you want to start with the front runners there.
No problem, mate. We got Revs giving that front right a bit of a workout, mate. Probably down to about 35%. Rear right would be about 50%. The left side's pretty good on the car, maybe 35 and 25% used. Snake Eyes is looking a little bit better than him on tyres, probably about 45% on his working front right tyre. And the rest are quite similar to Revs there. XL's the best there. He's actually done quite well to manage his tyres. He's only just went past 50% on his working right side front. And, his rear's probably 45% worn, and his left's are looking lovely, mate. Probably 30 and 35% worn. Black Project, he's looking a little bit worse off than XL in front of him, but looking a bit better than Snake Eyes and Revs. 35% on his working right. Cruisen's probably up there with XL tyre wear wise. He's probably looking the second best out of the front 5. With 40% on his working front right. Oh my god. I was just checking. Oh yeah, Stranger is smashing the whole field on tyres. He's about just past 50% on his working front right, and probably about 50% on his rear. And yeah, the lefts are beautiful too. He's got a big tyre advantage over the field at the moment.
Possible one stop?
Don't know. What are we on, lap 8? Yeah, there is a chance. Carbon Boy, he's... Yeah, no, we won't talk about his tyres. He's probably about 20. Yeah, I'd go about 20% on his working right front. The rest ain't too bad. His rear right's probably about 50 or so. But yeah, that front right looks pretty scary for him. Budsy's not too bad for having to work through the field. He's probably about 35% on his working tyre, probably about 55 on his rear working tyre. Ooh, that's Carbon Boy again. Budsy's just got past Carbon Boy.
Yeah, big move around the outside on the left-hander on the back straight too. It was a fantastic move.
VF, he's not looking too bad. He might be up there with Stranger. A little bit less, but quite close. He's probably about 40% on his working front right, 50 on the back. Chiseling Sausage, he's probably be in between VF and Stranger. He's got plenty of tyres left, probably 40% and 50 on the rear. Daz has got lovely tyres too. Is he pitted?
No, he hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah, no, he's 50% roughly on the front, working front. He's probably chewed more of his rear than his front, which would, no one in the grid's done that, so he's doing something special out there, Daz. Nice work.
I'll say that. Surprise, boys.
Killer's probably 35% working front, about 45 on the rear. Carbon Boy again. Oh, Carbon Boy's pitted.
Yep.
He's got brand new tyres on.
Carbon Boy and Peru have pitted, and I think...
Yep, they've all pitted. We've done that.
Yep, and Freelix has just pitted as well, by the looks of things. Bringing up the rear, he's 2.3 seconds behind. So, it's that battle between Snake Eyes and XL that I'm really interested in, because Snake Eyes...
down to 3/10.
Yeah, for the first time in his Sector 1 career, I think, I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but Snake Eyes is under possible pressure.
No, I believe Lemonator
Oh,
did put
yeah.
him under pressure for a little bit, and maybe one or two other people. Ooh. As the front runners all come into the pits. Ooh.
Look at the fuel difference for XL.
He's been better on tyres too. This is looking very good.
Black Project's in with an even bigger fuel
Jesus.
advantage.
Yeah.
The Stranger now.
Stranger's got.
He's gone around again. Budsy's gone around again too. Very interesting. So, if Budsy and Stranger are even on tyre life, that's one-stop territory. That's intriguing.
Oh, nah. Budsy, there's a bit of a difference between them two on tyres.
There is? Well,
Yeah.
It's funny you say that though, because it means essentially that if Budsy stretches out this first stint, it means he can really drop the hammer in his next two stints. He'll have fresher tyres for a shorter amount of time. And depending on how much fuel's in the car, how much he comes in with, or how much he's been able to actually save up, he might just very well be able to, play it to his advantage a little bit.
Budsy's probably got about 2% less than the Stranger, fuel-wise.
Yeah, so he's looking good on fuel.
That gap is closing, but... So, yeah, he's still pushing.
Oh, here's the big issue for Revs at the moment, though. He's just gotten out of traffic, and he's got traffic behind him. XL's actually caught in the soup. He's, there we go, P6 at the moment. But he's got Daz in front of him, who's well and truly down in terms of race pace.
Ooh,
That exit wouldn't have helped at all.
There.
Yeah, that exit would not have helped. But he has jumped past Snake Eyes in the pits, thanks to that fuel advantage. So that's something that Revs might need to keep in the back of his mind, is the fact that there's just a little bit wide there from Daz. He just could not pull it up. He's let
XL probably shouldn't have closed the door on him right at the braking marker when he just got past.
Looks like Snake Eyes is also wanting to...
Budsy's in, 23% fuel.
It's a pretty good save from Budsy there, to be honest. Very good save. Daz is coming in as well, so that frees up Snake Eyes.
Stranger might be going for the one stop here.
I'll tell you what, if he does the same thing as Petey Pops, but he gets a big result like in this field, as competitive as it is, that's massive. So you can see the initial gap there between Revs and Stranger, 15.4 seconds. It looks like decent lap times at the moment from the Stranger.
Yeah, that last one, it looks like it dropped off a bit at 53. If it's saying that on your screen too.
Yep. Sausage is in between the rock and the hard place at the moment as XL throws it down the inside. XL gets the move done. Up to net second position. Look at the gap between himself and Revs. That's all that stands between It's 1.3 seconds, all stands between the two. So if XL's looked after the car as well as he has, that bodes very, very well for the next two stints. They're only 15 seconds behind the Stranger at the moment. The gap can close down. It just all depends on how hard XL and Revs push. And the biggest key of all is if they battle, because if they start battling each other, there's going to be time lost. So what the Stranger really needs is for Revs and XL to fight and scrap and claw and throw left, right, good nights at each other. You just hear the tyre squealing from Revs there, so you know he's pushing. And he's pushing pretty hard at the moment. See the rear end stepping out, so Revs is actually under a fair chunk of pressure here. Just behind. Snake Eyes makes the move on Sizzling Sausage. Might actually jump up to that battle in P5 at the moment. So Sausage goes defensive. They've been side by side for quite a while. Sausage hasn't pitted yet as well, so that's something to keep in mind. So Sausage also going for a one-stop. Snake Eyes looks very strong around here. Oh, XL's got a problem!
Rev's got half a second penalty. So
there's been a big, big problem here.
Oh, they both do.
They both have penalties. What's happened there?
Oh, damage. Damage on art.
Oh, XL's gone well and truly into the weeds. He's lucky enough to save it though, but that is enormous. So not only was XL up in close proximity with Revs, I don't quite think he was there with him, but XL's had a big moment, so it's allowed Snake Eyes to go through. Half a second penalty to burn. Oh, that's not boding well for XL. He's got still halfway point of the race. He's still got plenty of time. Just back down the field a little bit. Dazzing Killer also battling away.
I don't know how Stranger's done this, mate. Anyone would think he didn't update GT7 when the new update came out.
Yeah, he's still in the 53s, despite the fact his tyres are 12, 13 laps old now as he comes into the main straight.
He's way past 10% left on his work and rear and front, and he's still punching out decent laps.
He's still in the 53s.
He's just done another...
What? That gap is... It's gone from 15 seconds down to 9, so you know the Stranger's going to have to pit at some stage. Surely, he can't stretch it any more than...
Well, the longer he goes, the easier his end stint's going to be, so yeah.
And that penalty burn from Revs, as you've mentioned...
That's going to
That's
hurt.
that's increased the gap as well, as Sausage has gone down to P7. Let's see if I can get it. So, looks like Cruisin's gone by. Black Project's also... So... You can see Sausage isn't able to, he isn't able to keep the tyre life like the Stranger has. Well, by the sounds of it, he's just really struggling. Just, you see how wide he's going there on the exit there of, I think it's turn 5.
But looking at it now, they're both got very similar tyres. I think, yeah, Stranger's just managed to manage it. I think he might have done more practice on warm tyres.
Yeah, and that's a big thing in itself. A lot of these guys, you know, it's all good to practice as we go back to Carbon Boy, who's just under a bit of a battle with Budsy. It's all good for these guys to practice, you know, getting faster slaps and that sort of stuff. But what you really want to focus on is the wet weather driving on, you know, very worn tyres, being able to see what you can truly do when the stints happen a little bit later on.
I think both the boys are going to be in this lap, bud. Going on fuel and tyre wise. Yep.
Stranger's in.
Stranger.
He's come home on a smell of an oily rag, so he knows he can get home from here. That gap between Snake Eyes and Revs, 1.8 seconds here. XL's only 1.7 behind them, so it's not completely over. And we've just seen in that first stint, XL was able to look after the car better than the two in front, so it's, yeah, still on.
sizzling sausage, so he'd push it to 1% before he came in. Nice.
Excel's just set a personal best lap as well with a 1 minute 50.2. Still well behind the fastest lap of the race by Revs at 1 minute 49.8. But that is your net gap at the moment between the top three, 3.8 seconds. Black Project and Cruisin' sort of behind. Budsy up to 6th on this little bit of a resurgence. It looks like Cruisin' and Black Project are set to... Black Project just runs very wide. So does Cruisin' for that matter. These two here looking very much like they're starting to get a bit closer.
This has worked out pretty good for Stranger too. He's got 5 seconds to the car in front, so he's got a bit of fresh air.
Yeah, and that's the critical thing for the one stop. You don't want to be caught behind another car unless they're slightly quicker. In that case, you can just sort of save fuel, look after the tyre a little bit.
Oh. Prelix has got himself a half a second penalty.
So where's he at the moment? P9, must be P9. No, he's P8, there he is.
P8.
Yeah, there he is. So
nice looking Hooncorp.
Yeah, they've got a singular sort of design to go with every single one of the cars, and I tell you what, really works well. Of course, Respawn Esports joining with Hooncorp this season, so more resources at their disposal this season.
Yeah, they've got quite a lineup of drivers and boys at Hooncorp, so yeah, be good to add that to the mix. More knowledge too.
Yep. Freelix will have to burn that penalty. He will get away with that though. Big gap to the Stranger. So this little lull that's happening in the top three at the moment, Snake Eyes just jumped on board with him there. It seemed like he almost had that car out of control for a sec, but looks like it's got a very twitchy setup. Car looks like it's a bit volatile over the top of the hills there in Sector 1.
Yeah. It's a tough one. Killer was speaking to us about that. So one setup felt lovely through the first sector, then not so lovely through the rest of the track, and the other setup was not too good through the first and lovely everywhere else.
Yeah, and a lot of teams were talking about that. You've really it's sort of like the Formula Ones at Spa tonight. You sort of got to compensate for other sections of the track. It's all good having a fast car down the straight, but you need to have the cornering speed to go with it. But not only that, you also want to have a suspension that's tuned very, very well for the undulations, but also hard enough that on the straights, the centre of gravity is just going to keep the car low.
Yeah, Excel's 8/10 away from Snake Eyes now, so
yeah, and
trying to
same for
fix
Cruisin'.
up that mistake. Oh no! Oh, I've given him the curse. He spun it.
Oh no!
Sorry, Excel.
Oh no, he has spun out of P3 as well. We're going to jump on board.
I think that's my first commentator's curse. I like it. Oh, well, I don't like it.
Oh, and he's clipped the grass on the outside. Ah, you'd be absolutely spewing about that one. And that's what it's also done, is put Budsy into the top 5. That is a phenomenal comeback. He's only 12 seconds behind. He's still got 9 laps to get something out of this. What that's also done is put Black Project on the podium.
Oh, it has too. That'd be a lovely result.
Not only that though, Cruisin's in the fight for a podium. So this
He's
whole...
only 9/10 off him.
Yeah, so, and considering where Cruisin started, that is massive. I believe he started P9. That is a Herculean result if he can get that.
And just to chuck a spanner in it, you've got Stranger doing the one stop who, yeah, might be a bit of a problem for the boys near the end.
It's absolutely unbelievable. Like, this whole field is just, it seems so spread out, but it's saying that there's so much going on right now that you just can't put a finger on it. This result is not set in stone.
Cruisin' and Black Project, mate. He's caught right up now. He's found some time. Oh, I'm not going to mention no one anymore. He nearly spun as I said that.
We've seen some commentators curses in the past, but that one's, yeah, as bad as things get. I can tell you that right now.
I don't think Chase will be my friend if I do that. Cruising?
Cruising.
Or cruising, for that matter.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, Cruising won't be happy at all. Anyway, just keeping tabs on this Cruising battle. Budsy's coming in at a fair rate of knots, so if these guys are going to fight over the podium, they need to, if Cruising wants the podium and wants to stretch the lead away from Black Project, he's got to get it done soon.
Yeah.
And I'd say he's probably got a lap or two to do it if he wants to. Otherwise, he's going to be at the mercy of Budsy here and this recovery drive from Budsy. I'll tell you what, he's looking so strong right now. 1 minute 51.2 last lap.
Out of the top 4, Cruising's got the best tyres out of a lot of them too.
Well,
that's lovely.
One thing he really worked on over the seasons past is his tyre and fuel usage, because he used to be renowned for basically drinking fuel in one big heap and chewing tyres for fun. He's really worked on that though, which is awesome to see.
Actually, looking at it, but fuel-wise, now that you point that out, Revs and Cruising looks like they didn't fuel up to the max because they're quite a bit lower than Black Project and Snake Eyes on fuel. They got red lights flashing.
Ooh, interesting.
Probably not this lap, but the next lap they might be visiting the pits.
So this battle, yeah, with Black Project and Budsy and Cruising and XL, this is really sort of the moment, isn't it? Black Project, 1 minute 52.3 last lap.
We got Budsy, he's got it down to a second now, so yeah, Cruising, no pressure, but really want to try to get past him.
Oh, they're in.
Are they in? Oh, they're in.
Budsy's going around again.
They're all in.
Interesting.
So as you see, I got it wrong too, Snake.
Oh, Black Project's got an epic fuel save.
Yeah.
So, if I remember correctly, the settings in the fuel side of things, it's 7 litres per second that they can fill up. So, for Black Project, that's almost a net 3-second gain. That's massive.
That would... Oh. Yeah, that might get the... Nah, it's saying 7/10 difference between him and Snake Eyes. We'll see, but...
Revs is pitted, and he will come out behind XL, so he's out in clear track. That is critical.
We'll see where Stranger is compared to these boys who just done their last stop.
And this is going to be very, very critical for Snake Eyes as well, because now he's behind 2 cars. One does not have to pit. I'm not sure on VF's situation.
Oh, he's got a pit.
So the Stranger here could really throw a cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak. He's not going to be able to catch Revs, I don't believe, especially on the fuel and tyre side of things. He's going to try and bring it home in one piece, but definitely make life very, very difficult for Snake Eyes here. Black Project's only 4 seconds off the back of those guys.
I think the gap was, 7 seconds, so he did gain about 3 seconds there.
Yeah. So, I don't believe Daz is
Snake
pitted.
Eyes are making a move on VF.
There we go. So Snake Eyes has got past VF there. Now it comes to going up against the Stranger, and Budsy's pitted. XL follows him in. They're going to have 1 lap fresher tyres, and if I was Budsy, I probably would have gone around another lap if the tyres were still pretty good. Maybe a second lap.
Yeah, Budsy could have afforded to do another lap. He still had probably about 25% tyre left.
Yeah, and he would have had...
XL probably had about 10%.
And he would have had a decent yield on the tyre as well. Very, very interesting. This VF's come in as well. Revs assumes the lead of the race. 2.9 seconds to the good now. The Stranger does not have to move.
Ooh. Yeah, yes. We've got a fight here.
Oh, there's something going on a bit further down the back of the field. There we go. Daz and Sizzling Sausage here. And just behind them is Carbon Boy. Daz, a little bit of a cork in the bottle here. Oh, runs a little bit wide. Sausage and Carbon Boy, look at them two just behind. So Excel's just let Budsy through, and I think there was a slight bit of contact. Look at Carbon Boy though, he's gotten past Sausage. Goes up the inside of Daz. Can he get it done? He might just get it done. Looks like Sausage wants a slice of the pie too. And he's also gotten through as well, so Daz losing a couple of positions there in a couple of corners. But look at Budsy now.
Snake Eyes is past Stranger too.
So that might be the top two almost locked, you'd think.
Yeah, unless there's any of the boys make some mistakes, it should be pretty set.
If I'm the other teams down the pit lane, I am one of the teams down the pit lane, looking at Revolution after this first round, they've got, if it goes to plan, they will have maximum points from divisions 3 and 2. That's
impressive.
Yeah, that's a massive start to the season for them. But we know that Tim Durags and Levenspiel most likely will be going up to Division 1. Be a far bigger stranglehold there on points. So it will come back. It will come back a little bit after round 2. Budsy at the moment, P6, has done a fantastic recovery after that stall.
Yeah, 3 tenths behind Cruising.
And I wonder what's going through Womble's mind right now. Signing Budsy, of course, big pickup. Coming off the back of a Drivers' Championship with Levenspiel as well. Had to fill the void, and I think he's found a pretty good pick in Budsy. Really showed his craft in the last couple of rounds too, especially in the big Enduro in the Honda NSX where he filled in for Division 2, and then it's, I think it was a I might be wrong, P4 or P5?
Yeah.
So he's definitely able
he can pedal Budsy, mate. I've seen him race with some quick fellas. Ooh.
Oh, he's made contact with Cruising! Oh. That was big contact. And it sent Cruising 2 seconds back.
He's managed to get out of it with no damage, which is a plus, but probably wouldn't be too happy about that.
See if we can get a replay of that. That was a big incident though. Look, just
I don't know
missed
how
that.
we didn't get damage from it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm mind blown by that, to be honest. I think he's definitely gotten away with it. So Freelix was another name I wanted to bring up. He's got another penalty, but I was about to say he just got himself up to P9. But this middle battle pack at the moment, at contact with Budsy and Cruising, means Cruising's fallen off the back a little bit. And these two have got to find a way to get to Black Project. The Stranger's actually really starting to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, he's a bit. He should have enough fuel to finish, but he's a bit lower than the rest.
Shouldn't have an issue making home. Time.
Tyres, on the other hand, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say they will be.
Consistently sitting in the 52s now, but so.
Yeah, and he showed very strong pace. Just means that Black Project.
We do have Black Project last lap doing a 50.3 but, so There's a 2-second gap there in a lap time. Yeah, it's going to be hard for Stranger to hold on to this podium. It was an awesome effort to try to accomplish the one stop after the update. So yeah, got to give him that.
Yeah, I agree completely. And this little pack between, what, 3rd to 6th for the final step of the podiums, starting to close up. 50.3 last lap for Black Project. XL has the fastest lap of the race with a 49.591. That is awesome pace.
No, 44.3. I mean 49.3. He just got.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's flying.
He's showing a strong hand at the moment. It just seems to me that take out a couple of mistakes, he would have been there or thereabouts at the top.
Well, yeah, you could say that with Budsy and XL. Both of them are, making a couple of little errors, but that's what racing's all about, learning from your mistakes. And yeah, if they get on top of all that, mate, they'll be a threat.
On the exit of turn 8, XL's closing in on Black Project, who in turn is closing himself on the Stranger. Black Project sends it up the inside. Oh, Stranger gives it a little tap. And Black Project raises the wall. XL might just get both of them here. No, Black Project holds him off, but XL is right there now. So Black Project has really got to fight this out. Oh, and XL sends it down the inside. Can he get it done? Oh, he might just get it done, but Black Project's still got some room there. XL closes the door though. XL now up to P3, solid result.
What the Stranger really wants to do here is just try to tuck in with these boys so he doesn't lose another position. Because he's got 2.3 to the car behind. By the way these two boys are fighting, I'm pretty sure that might be a little bit hard to do considering the strategy he's on, but
that's the thing. He's just not going to have the tyre grip to fight, but he's sort of got to throw it away at this point. But these new...
Well, he's got what have we got? 3 laps left. He's got 35%, maybe 30%. If I was him, I'd try to use all my tyre now, trying to stick with these boys as best as possible, because that gap's already down to 1.3.
That's the thing. He's going to... I think Black Project... If Black Project loses the slipstream, because the slipstream right now is basically what's going to keep the Stranger at bay. If Black Project loses that slipstream and the Stranger's got up the straights, it's not out of the realms of possibility for the Stranger to take that position back. But, you know, it's hard with those tyres. That's the problem. So, might just gloss up and down the field at this point, guys, for the last time. A couple of laps left. Rev's leading the way. 2 seconds to the good. Snake Eyes closely following. XL now up to P3. Black Project in 4th. Stranger in 5th. Budsy in P6. Cruising. He'll probably be an angry little hot pocket under that helmet. P7. 13 seconds behind to Carbon Boy. With an indicator still going on. It's been going on since about lap 2. 9 is Sizzling Sausage. 10th is VF. 11th is Freelix. 12th is Killer. Daz in P13 and Fairway back behind. Brewer in P14. Should just mention though, Brewer only just arrived home as well, so I think he's been real life racing today. But at the moment, these are REM boys. This is a team that is going to take some beating by the looks of things, because we know that rookie squads come here to play. And boy, oh boy, have they opened up their account very strongly in this first round. XL, you go.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought BSR done that quite good in Div 1, but yeah, what these boys have done, I think that might put them in the front, in front.
Yeah, and I think, if I remember correctly, the team's points for over all 4 divisions, wherever you finish is the same result. So 8th in Div 1 is the same as 8th in Div 2, but it's just the Drivers' Championship that's a little bit different. So 8th in Div 1 is not 8th in Div 2. It's 8th in Div 2 is significantly less in the Drivers' side of things. So it's sort of to balance out the division squad, so to speak. Budsy in P5. Stranger's still holding on to the 6th though, but he's got Cruisin' breathing down his neck. A little bit of a graze car there by Cruisin', just grazes the exit of turn 15. Still can pick up a big result, but it is the final lap, so he's going to have to make something work here. Stranger's just got to hold on for another lap though.
Oh, no, Stranger, Cruising.
Oh, Cruising, you saw the rear end there, just absolutely sideways.
He made contact with Stranger trying to pass him, and he slowed down to readdress it, which is what we like to see.
Oh, and a little bit of a bump there too. You can just see how much more grip he's got. Look at the exit that he's got on the Stranger. Oh!
No. He's given Stranger some rear damage, so it's went away now, but oh, this might be a little bit tasty. There's some lights flashing. They're ready to go.
If I'm the Stranger here, surely I'm sending it. Surely I'm just looking to send it. I thought he might have actually thrown it up the inside. Anyway, we better go back up the front.
Yeah.
Nearly just glossed over our race winner by a complete accident. But geez, he's put in a dominant performance. Former Division 4 champion. Stepped up to Division 3 last season and now has decided he wants to make the Division 3 his own. A big result for REM, a big result for Revs. Takes the win here at Trial Mountain. Snake Eyes will follow, so it's a Revolution 1-2 once again. XL in 3rd on debut, Black Project in 4th. They'll both be very happy with that. Budsy in 5th, a fantastic comeback drive from 14th after that failed start. Cruising in 6th, the Stranger will come home in 7th. Carbon Boy
done quite good to get 8th, sir.
He did.
Not too bad of an effort for him. No.
9th is the Sausage. 10th is VF. Felix, rough night at the office. He's been out the seat a little while. He will come across the line in 11th. I think he's run out of fuel too.
Nah, he still had some.
Chiller in 12th. Daz in 13th. And Prua, he may be finishing 14th, but it gives us a chance to look at that glorious livery. Oh, boy. I love that.
Yeah, I was arguing in party chat which wheels are. I actually prefer Carbon Boy's orange wheels on it. I don't know why, it just gels in a bit better.
Yeah.
Orange on orange.
I think
but the yellow's still pop, they look nice.
But a big congratulations does go to our race winner, Revs. He's made his mark early on this championship.
Awesome work to the top 3. That was a good race. Couple little incidents, but you get that.
It was it was everything that we thought it'd be, I reckon. Brutal race. It was a lot of contact, but that's the way Div 3 likes it. So
the stewards can deal with that.
Yep, so looking over our race results as well. Revs on top there by 2.8 seconds over Snake Eyes. XL in P3. Black Project 4th. Budsy 5th. Cruising in 6th. Stranger in 7th, Carbon Boy in 8th, Sizzling Sausage 9th, 10th is VF, Freelix 11th, Killer on the Loose in 12th, Daz in 13th, Brewer in 14th. Fastest lap did go to CEXL with a 1 minute 49.341. That is the Trial Mountain 400 run and done. Sector 1 is back. Round 1's over. And round 2, very much looking forward to. So next week, Divisions 1 and 2 will take to the field at one of the very famous homes of Sector 1, of course. A track very fondly remembered for one driver in particular who dominated for seasons there. We are going to Brands Hatch. Looking very much forward to that one, John. And if are you ready to go there?
Oh, mate, I love Brands Hatch. Might be able to hopefully run a bit closer to the young fellas cleaning up the field at the moment in Div 1.
Yeah, the old young fellas are teaching the old dogs a few new tricks, that's for sure. But
yeah. Times have changed.
I've been racing on the Brands Hatch on iRacing all week, so I'm just pumped to get into this. But anyway, we'll leave that be. Anyway, driver of the chats, guys. Levin Spells said, "Who's Budsy? Let's go REM." Oh, shade. Whoa.
I've just opened the stream because I don't have it. I don't have it on my phone, and it turns out I was quiet the whole time.
Yeah,
My bad.
No, that was on my end. Because we're on the Discord chat,
good,
I hadn't turned volumes up. So
your fault, Karen. I mean Brent. Sorry.
You can call me whatever you want. Stickers has said click. I think he's seen a couple of incidents that are definitely going to get looked at this week. Driver of the day, Womble from Womble. Oh dear God, he's going for back-to-back Wombles. Jackson Dean's finding brilliant racing. Driver of the day, Budsy. Rebs with the trophy by Madrick. Driver of the day, XL by VF. Driver of the day, XL from Bumcrack. The prospector said, "What a debut for the kid for Dadson Racing. Well done." And my driver of the day by a mile. Very proud right now. Yeah. Who are you picking for your driver of the day?
Oh, I think you might know this, mate.
It's not Killer, is it?
It's... Oh, well, doesn't it go between both races?
No. You can pick...
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably going to have to go XL, mate. Getting P3 in his first race. There was a couple little mistakes in that, but...
Yeah,
it's a tough one. I kind of want to go cruising because he was looking so good, but yeah, I'll go XL.
Yeah, I think that little bit of contact with Budsy, I think, that contact for cruising, if that didn't happen, he would have got driver of the day for me. Started 9th or whatever it was. Did a great job, and you've got the comeback story of Budsy as well, who. Started, P2, and then, had that horror start. Dropped him all the way back.
Straight to the rear.
Yeah. So basically, shot himself in the foot and fought all the way back to a top 5. So I reckon, take away a couple of things out of that, he'll be pretty happy with. He was on par for a podium at one stage. I'm actually going to give my driver of the day to, I think I'm going to give it to Black Project.
That's fair enough. That's a good result.
Yeah, very strong result. Got through the carnage early. And not only that, was on the podium for a little while. And, kept it clean, kept it fair. Very worthy driver of the day for mine.
Can't knock Revs on getting the win, but Snake Eyes, his first race in Div 3, P2.
Yeah.
Got to mention that too.
So hopefully we see more of the same at Brands Hatch. And anyway, John, any final words?
$20 is $20, mate. Looking forward to next week, and cheers for tuning in tonight.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching tonight. We had some awesome numbers. I think we had 42 people at one stage watching the stream that I can see from here anyway. Big thank you to all the drivers stepping in tonight. It is a different format, of course. A couple of drivers were unsure of how everything would go, but done an awesome job to fill the grid, especially at with late notice with us having to swap race directors and that sort of stuff. So big thanks to the guys, especially Div 3 for, alternating and chopping and changing around, doing what they needed to do to get this race going. Big thanks to Friday and yourself, John, for stepping into the comms box tonight. Awesome job as per usual.
Cheers for having us, mate.
No, that's all good. Big thank you to everyone who's watched tonight as well. The comments, the chat, the likes on the stream as well. It's been flowing fantastically. And, of course, big thanks to everyone behind the scenes for getting this season underway. Of course, the stream looks fantastic. The races look awesome. And a lot of work has been going into this first round in particular. So we're looking very much forward to seeing what the rest of the season pertains for all of us. So we'll see you next week at Brands Hatch, home of one Sean Ghost Muller. Absolutely loves the track, and of course I think Ghost will be there or thereabouts at the track. I think he's actually tried to buy himself a special seat for next week, but we'll wait and see on that one. But anyway, guys, don't miss next week's Brands Hatch event. Divs 1 and 2 running there. I am Brent, aka Karen, signing off for now. And as always, I was pretty nervous about this stream tonight. Good night, everybody.